Chapter 710. When will your people come? Baya asked. Tomorrow, I may bring 3 people. 2 people won't be able to cook for so many soldiers. They still have to clean the house and wash the soldiers' clothes. Besides, didn't you want to buy the equipment? I'll find an expert in architecture and ask the soldiers to help build a new house. After that, it should be very busy. Xingbuhua was thorough. Baya was deep in thought. She wanted to build a house to put the equipment in to study the antidote. Now that she had decided to accompany Gu Lingqing, why would she still need to build a house? Oh, right, she could entrust the antidote to Xingbuhua. It's been hard on you, Baya said softly. Xingbuhua smiled. As long as you're here, it's not hard for me to do anything. One more thing. Can you bring back Gu Lingqing's ashes? Baya asked. Bury him. Do you want to break open his grave to get his ashes? He's with his parents and grandparents now. It's very lively and he won't be lonely. Oh, Baya responded, her eyes a little misty. She couldn't bring Gu Lingqing with her, so she could only go to his place to accompany him. After a while, they arrived at the lake. Zhang Xingyu had already broken the hole. Xingbuhua sat by the lake and fished. I'll go back to get the tent and the stove. It's too cold, Zhang Xingyu said and ran back immediately. Baya sat beside Xingbuhua and stared at the hole. She didn't think about anything. There were many fish in the lake. They weren't fed, so they were easy to catch. After a while, Xingbuhua caught a crucian carp. Baya wanted to help put the fish into the tank. It's too cold. You can just watch from the side. Xingbuhua said considerately. He took the fish off the hook and put it into the water tank. Baya looked at Xingbuhua's face, which was exactly the same as Gu Lingqing's, with an infatuated expression. She seemed to see Gu Lingqing through Xingbuhua. Seeing Baya smile, Xingbuhua felt warm in his heart. He believed that in the long run, she would fall in love with him, just like how she fell in love with Gu Lingqing. Zhang Xingyu drove over. Chief, madam, I've brought the tent over. You can stay in the tent and fish. It will be much warmer there. He first brought the stove over and placed a kettle on top of it. In an instant, a wave of warmth washed over his exposed skin. Zhang Xingyu set up the stove and unfurled the tent. He placed the sponge mattress in the tent. Can we catch fish at night? Baya murmured. In fact, fishing at night is better than during the day. But it's best to use blue light. This kind of light will attract fish, Xingbuhua explained. Okay. Baya responded gently. Wait in the tent. It's warm there, Xingbuhua said. Baya nodded. She sat in the tent and looked at the lake. Zhang Xingyu saw that they were in a good mood, so he didn't want to be a third wheel. He drove back. 20 minutes later, Xingbuhua caught another black carp. It was very big, probably more than 20 kilograms. Baya ran over happily. With this fish, Lu Shuang would have something to eat. I think, with this lake, I can live the rest of my life without worrying about food or clothing, she said with a smile. Since you like fishing, I will accompany you often. In spring, we can open a pond over there and put lobster seedlings in it. In summer, we can catch lobsters, Xingbuhua suggested. Baya lowered her head and smiled. It sounded good. Let's go back. It's enough. Let's go. Xingbuhua held the fishing gear in one hand and the water tank in the other. He walked in front. Baya followed behind him. It was easy to get dark in winter. When they got home, it was already dark by 6:10 p.m. Baya and Song Shiyu went to the kitchen to deal with the fish. Xingbuhua and Zhang Xingyu discussed building a house. At 6:30 p.m., Baya's phone rang. She saw it was Lu Shuang and quickly answered. Little Bai, your guard stopped me from coming in. Can you tell them? Lu Shuang said. Give them the phone, Baya said. She heard the guard's voice on the other end of the phone. Madam. Let her in. She's my friend. Baya hung up and said to Song Shiyu, my friend will be here soon. Is the pot ready? Let me tidy up the fish first. Done. I also made a shrimp pot with a lot of chicken wings in it. It should be good, Song Shiyu said. That's great. Thank you. Baya opened the pot and put oil, pepper, onion, ginger, garlic, etc. She put the fish into the pot and stir-fried it. Then she put it into the pot. She suddenly thought of something. Mom, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm going to pick up my friend, Baya said and took off her apron in a hurry. Okay. Go ahead. Song Shiu took over Baya's work. Baya rushed to the door. Lu Shuang's car had already driven in and stopped on the lawn. Baya walked over and held Lu Shuang's hand. She said softly, "There's one thing. Xing Buhua lives with us. My mom doesn't know that he's not Gu Lingqing. Don't tell her. She'll be sad." Xing Buhua lives with you. If the old lady likes him to be Gu Lingqing, then you'll be sharing a room with him, right? Lu Shuang asked in surprise. Baya nodded. He's sleeping on the sofa. Remember not to tell her. Lu Shuang made a zipping gesture on his lips. She opened the door and took out 2 fruit baskets. Put my luggage in the car. I'll stay here for 2 days. Okay. Baya took Lu Shuang to the villa. As soon as they entered, Lu Shuang smelled the aroma. It smells so good. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything today. Baya laughed. Wash your hands and sit at the dining table. It's time to eat. There's fish soup, hot pot and spicy prawns. My mother-in-law specially made them. Your mother-in-law is so nice. Lu Shuang put down the fruit baskets and saw Song Shiu. He smiled and greeted, "Hello, Auntie." Good. Take a seat. It's time to eat. I'll call Ling Qing and Xing Yu to come over. Song Shiu put the bowls and chopsticks on the table. Take a seat first. I'll prepare a seasoning plate for you, Baya said and went to the kitchen. Lu Shuang followed her. I like to eat something sweet. I know. Baya prepared 5 seasoning plates and placed them on the dining table. Xing Buhua and Zhang Xingyu were still talking. Xing Buhua saw Lu Shuang and smiled politely. Lu Shuang also smiled. Hello, Chief. It's a blessing to have a meal with Chief. You're so naughty, Baya said to Lu Shuang. Let's eat. Sing this fish. Ling Qing just caught it from the lake. Chapter 7:11. Baya picked up some for Lu Shuang and placed it on her plate. Lu Shuang made a sound of enjoyment. I think it's better than what we had at the fish farm. The fish there might be farmed. The fish here are wild. They must have been here for many years and are growing on their own, Baya explained. I want to eat fish here for the rest of my life. Don't stop me. Lu Shuang picked up more fish with his chopsticks. Okay, Baya replied gently. Song Shiu looked at Lu Shuang and her eyes dimmed. I think of Shu Lan. She should be fine now. All that's left is the recovery time. If there's nothing wrong, let's bring her back. She's lonely in the hospital, Baya said. I'll go to the hospital to see her tomorrow and ask the doctor if she can be discharged. It's better to stay at home than in the hospital, Song Shiu said. Baya nodded. The meal was heartwarming and comfortable. Lu Shuang rubbed his stomach and asked Zhang Xingyu, do you know how to play level up? We'll play mahjong tonight. I'll play with Xiao Bai and you'll play with the chief. How about $100 a game? I'm not good at mahjong. I'm afraid that I'll be a burden to the chief. Zhang Xingyu looked at Xing Buhua and said, It's okay. It's rare for us to play. I'll pay if we lose, Xing Buhua said with a smile. Zhang Xingyu was elated. Long live the chief. I have a feeling that I'll win a lot today. Lu Shuang said happily. They started the game very quickly. Song Shiu poured water for them and prepared some melon seeds, peanuts, pistachios, pine nuts, and sweets. Lu Shuang suddenly felt like he was celebrating Chinese New Year. Thank you, Auntie. Song Shiu also felt that Lu Shuang was a happy person. The atmosphere in the house became better. Come and play more in the future. Okay, Auntie. The 4 of them were having fun. Xing Buhua was obviously going easy on them. Lu Shuang was laughing happily. Baya was also in a good mood. When he saw that Baya was in a good mood, he was also affected. They played until 10 o'clock. Baya's phone rang. She saw that it was Xinyan's call and looked at Lu Shuang in surprise. Why didn't Xinyan call Lu Shuang? Puzzled, she picked up the call. Baya, don't let Lu Shuang come back for the time being. In addition, ensure his safety, Xin Yan said seriously. Baya noticed that everyone was looking at her. I'm sorry, I'll leave for a while. She stood up and walked into the library. What's wrong? What happened? Nangong Yu's brother suddenly came to visit today. His words were very unfriendly. I'm worried that he might do something bad to Lu Shuang. I'll let Lu Shuang come back after he leaves, Shenyan said. When are you going to marry Lu Shuang? Baiya asked suspiciously. After Nangong Yu's brother leaves, I'll negotiate with Hua Zixing and end our relationship as soon as possible. If everything goes well, we'll divorce next month and marry Lu Shuang 6 months later, Shen Yan said in a deep voice. Got it? You be careful too. Baiya hung up and returned to the mahjong table. Xing Buhua looked at the time on his phone. It's getting late and you're pregnant. Why don't you rest early? Can I sleep with Baiya today? Let me have Baiya for the time being, Lu Shuang said to Xing Buhua with a grin. Xing Buhua nodded. Don't disturb her sleep. She'll wake up easily. Lu Shuang saluted. Of course. Xiao Bai, which room are you in? Baiya looked at Xing Buhua. I'll sleep in the library today, Xing Buhua said. Thank you, Baiya said gently and brought Lu Shuang back to her room. Xing Buhua went to the library and sent a message. How's it going? That woman is very similar to the real Nangong Yu. She can answer a lot of questions. Even her brother's personality is the same. She disguised herself very well. What should we do next? Mo asked. Have you found the place where the real Nangong Yu is imprisoned? Xing Buhua asked coldly. I've found the location, but Hua Zixing's men are watching it very closely. I'm afraid it'll be difficult to rescue her. I've already contacted Leng Shuang today. He said that he'll join me. I've also contacted Gu Tianhong's old subordinates. They also said that they'll join me. Currently, the only obstacle is Shenyan, Xing Buhua said in a low voice. He narrowed his eyes and there was a malicious glint in them. Sir, please give me your orders. You saved my life and my family needs your help too. I'll do my best, Mo said. Very well. Don't worry. After this, you'll be able to enjoy your old age. Your family will also return to your side. Show the video to Brother Nangong Yu and tell him the address of the person who imprisoned Nangong Yu. Leave the rest to me. Asterisk on Baiya's side, everything was peaceful. She had a good night's sleep and woke up naturally. The president's palace was filled with bloodshed. When she woke up, Lu Shuang was still asleep. She carefully got out of bed and went to the bathroom. She brushed her teeth and washed up. When she opened the door, she saw Zhang Xingyu standing in front of her door. He seemed to have waited for a long time with a heavy heart. What's wrong? Baiya asked in confusion. Madam, hurry up and look at the internet, Zhang Xingyu reminded her. Baiya went to the library and turned on the computer. There were 2 videos on the computer. One was the scene of Hua Zixing forcing Nangong Yu into the snake pit. The lines were also recorded clearly. The other video showed an intense shooting. Someone rescued the dying Nangong Yu from the basement. Then the scene changed. There was another Nangong Yu who rushed over and fought with a man, beating him to the ground. What's this? Baiya was shocked. It seems that someone is targeting the president and Mrs. President. Mrs. President had brought a girl from country M. Mrs. President couldn't have children, so she promised her that she would give birth to the president's child in 4 years. Her child will be the president in the future, and she is the default candidate for the president. Her child will be the president in the future, Zhang Xingyu said. Baiya frowned as she looked at the comments below. It had become a disaster zone, bombarding Shenyan and Hua Zixing. However, the president had another woman behind him and even had a child with another woman. Nangong Yu flew into a rage out of humiliation and hurt the president's woman. He was forced into the snake pit by Hua Zixing and imprisoned. The Nangong Yu beside Hua Zixing right now is a fake. The man who was beaten to the ground just now, the man who was beaten to the ground should be Nangong Yu's brother, Zhang Xingyu continued. A lot of information flashed through Baiya's mind. She immediately called Shenyan. Shenyan hung up. Chapter 712. Baiya's mind was in a mess. She closed her eyes. She was worried that the fact that Lu Shuang was the woman behind Shenyan could not be concealed. Then, Lu Shuang would become the target of Quan Ming's attack. She would be the first to suffer. Her phone rang. She saw that it was Shen Yan's call. She picked it up immediately and asked anxiously, "How did this happen?" "Baya, who is more important in your heart, Xing Buhua or Lu Shuang?" Shen asked in a low voice. "What do you mean?" Baya stood up from her seat. She had a bad feeling about this. Xing Buhua is the mastermind behind all this. The video was shot by Hua Rui's nanny. She is Xing Buhua's person. Baya was silent. She recalled many things. She still could not believe it. Xing Buhua had clearly said that it was up to her whether he would be the president or not. "Do you have any evidence?" The nanny beside Hua Rui was a spy who was abandoned by the country. She was saved by Xing Buhua. From the angle of the video and the surveillance footage, it was shot by the nanny. "I think his purpose is to be the president." "Baya, you believe me now. He is not Gu Lingqing. His ambition has never disappeared. He appeared by your side and pretended to be Gu Lingqing not to prevent you from committing suicide, but to steal Gu Lingqing's power. He has done it now. Lung Shuang and the others used to be Gu Lingqing's people. Now they are all his people." Shen Yan told Baya everything about today's investigation. Baya only felt that her brain was struck by lightning. It was numb. There was a short blank in her mind. She was silent. "Are you still listening?" Shen Yan asked. Baya took a deep breath. "Do you have any remedial measures now?" "Xing Buhua is ruthless. This time he cut off all my escape routes. I can't answer to the M Nation's king, the Hua family, the Nangong family, or the people. Moreover, if I'm not surprised, the M Nation's king will listen to the Xiang family's provocation and attack me in order to protect himself. In order to protect themselves, the Hua family will turn against me. They will make me hand over Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang will become the main culprit behind public opinion." Shen Yan's voice deepened. She was silent for 3 seconds. Baya also felt the seriousness of the matter. In ancient times, there was an emperor called Tang Minghuang. He loved Yang Guifei very much. During the Insha rebellion, the officials and the common people put all the blame on Yang Guifei, demanding that the emperor's side be cleansed. No matter how much Emperor Tang loved Yang Guifei, he could only watch helplessly as Yang Yuhuan was hanged. In the end, even Shenyan might not be able to do anything. "Are you sure there's no solution? How to refute these attacks? I can use my website to help you. Maybe I can turn the tide." Baya quickly thought of a solution. "The video has been sent out. It's hard to turn the tide." "What about the negotiation with the Nangong family? There's always a glimmer of hope, right?" "The Nangong family has already surrendered to the Xiang family. They will pursue this matter, Baya." Shen Yan became serious. "Listen, I can hold on for 2 or 3 months at most. This time, I won't be able to turn the tide. If Lu Shuang stays with me, he will definitely die. Even if he doesn't die, I don't want her to suffer with me. Her life will be threatened at any time. Send her away secretly. If possible, don't let her come back for the rest of her life. Her child is also in D country now. I will send the child to her. She is the legal representative of the company in X country. I will find a way to transfer the money to her." Shen Yan said with red eyes. When he could give her happiness, he did everything he could to keep her. He once said that even if he was imprisoned, he would not let her go. But now, he was really going to lose power. What he had to do was not to drag her down with him. He had to think about the best place to go. Baya's eyes turned red. "I'm sorry. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything and you don't know anything. I was too careless. Please take care of Lu Shuang." Shen Yan sobbed. "I still have something to deal with. I'll hang up first," Shen Yan said and hung up the phone. Baya stood there in a daze. She felt very uncomfortable. It was like a cold rain on a cloudy day. She thought that at least Lu Shuang could be happy. Why did it have to be like this? It was like a sudden clap of thunder on a sunny day. She couldn't bear the sudden change. She sat on the bed and panted. She still felt sad. The person who hurt her friend was the brother of the man she loved the most. She couldn't control her emotions anymore. She was so angry that she swept all the papers on the table to the ground. Zhang Xingyu knew that Baya was sad. He silently picked up all the papers on the ground and put them on the table. Baya glanced at the papers on the table and called Lung Shuai. Lung Shuai answered. Did Xing Buhua look for you? Baiya asked directly. He analyzed the situation with me and talked about his ideals and ambitions. I think they are very close to mine, so I am willing to support him to be the president. I think the spirit of the chief in heaven will also agree, Leng Shuai said. Really? Baiya's eyes turned red. So you decided to betray Gu Lingqing? This is not a betrayal. It's just that someone has come to take over the chief's dream. Becoming the president is not Gu Lingqing's dream. Baiya raised her voice. But this is my dream. I want to support the chief to become the president. After talking with Xing Buhua, I think he can do a better job than the chief. I'm sorry, Baiya. I have decided to work hard in the future. Whether you understand it or not, it's fine. So, you have been helping me because you think that Xing Buhua is Gu Lingqing and wants to make Gu Lingqing the president, not because of Gu Lingqing, so you are protecting her orphan. Baiya asked. We are soldiers. We have our glory and mission. We should not be soft-hearted or have a woman's view. You just want to live a peaceful life and work in peace and contentment. But in my eyes, this is decadence and self-abandonment. What I want is to make the country rich and powerful. What do you mean by making the country rich and powerful? It sounds nice, but you just want to satisfy your ambition. In fact, you are no different from Sheng Dongqing. You also covet the position of the president, Baiya said anxiously. Since you can't understand, it's meaningless for me to explain. Don't call me again. Leng Shuai hung up the phone. Baiya was so angry that she smashed the phone. What friendship? What passion? When she fought against Sheng Dongqing and Zhuqiuani, they all followed her lead. Chapter 713. Madam, don't be too agitated. You're pregnant, Zhang Xingyu said worriedly. He picked up Baiya's phone and placed it on the table. You're going to follow Xing Buhua too, right? Baiya asked Zhang Xingyu directly. Zhang Xingyu kept quiet and lowered his head. Baiya understood everything. They took care of her and protected her because they thought that Gu Lingqing was not dead. By doing so, they could improve their careers. When they were sure that Gu Lingqing was dead, they would choose someone else to rely on. Everyone had their own selfish motives. She understood that. She could not blame others. She could only respect their choices because she could not change it. However, she was sad. Was this the Ying that she wanted to protect for Gu Lingqing? Her world seemed to collapse in an instant. Go, take your Ying with you. You can rely on whoever you want, Leng Shuai or Xing Buhua, Baiya sniffled and said. Zhang Xingyu looked at Baiya and felt sad. Madam, can't you be with Xing Buhua? You treat Xing Buhua as Chief Gu. Many times I thought that Xing Buhua was Chief Gu. He's not Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing would not sacrifice innocent people to gain his own benefits and power. In his heart, the lives of ordinary people are more important than his own. How could he betray them? How could he take the initiative to harm others? Baiya said with tears in her eyes. But Chief Gu is such a good person. He's not around anymore, isn't he? Zhang Xingyu nodded. So you can rely on whoever you want. He doesn't need you. I don't need you either. Baiya said firmly. Even if we turn to Xing Buhua, aren't we still following you? There's no difference. The difference is that if you follow me, all you get is a salary. If you follow Xing Buhua, you can get glory and do things that are better for you. You can leave now. Baiya glanced at the door. Zhang Xingyu didn't leave. Madam, don't be like this. I'm scared. I need some time alone. Baiya closed his eyes. In that case, madam, please rest for a while. I'll be here if you need me to, Zhang Xingyu said before he turned around and left the room, closing the door behind him. Baiya closed her eyes, but her tears were still flowing. She missed Gu Lingqing so much. Without him, she didn't want to stay in this cruel world for a second. But if she died now, what would happen to Lu Shuang? She would send Lu Shuang away safely. Zhang Xingyu was already Xing Buhua's man. She couldn't trust or rely on these people anymore. The only one she could trust was Alan. Yes, only Alan. Baiya wiped her tears and immediately brought Lu Shuang to look for Alan. She rushed out of the library and Xing Buhua stood in front of her. She felt a chill down her spine. Fear rose in her heart and she took a step back. You know everything? Xing Buhua locked his eyes on her and asked. Baya forced herself to calm down. If she fell out with Xing Buhua directly, she would probably be imprisoned in this manner for the rest of her life. Lu Shuang would be forced out by him and become a weapon to threaten Shenyin. She couldn't call for help. She would rather die than live. The point was that if she died, she would be separated from Gu Lingqing and become a ghost trapped in this manner. Got it? Baya lowered her eyes. I believe that fate is in my own hands. Trusting Shenyin is like hanging my head on the edge of a cliff. If he wants to kill me, he can kill me. I can't eat and sleep well every day. Now, no one will hurt us anymore. I am the only king. Xing Buhua said arrogantly. He was arrogant and proud. Baya replied calmly. What will you do to Lu Shuang? She is your friend. I will make sure she is safe. Xing Buhua promised. Now that Shenyin can't make a comeback, if Lu Shuang stays by his side, he will only be in danger. I want to send her away secretly. Do you agree? Baya asked, looking into his eyes. Xing Buhua nodded. She is innocent. Send her away. I'll talk to her. Baya lowered her head and walked past him. Xing Buhua held her hand. Aren't you happy for me? From now on, no one will hurt you. Baya twitched the corner of her mouth and looked at him coldly. Congratulations, you finally got what you wanted. That's good. When I become the king, I will marry you. From then on, we will be happy. Xing Buhua promised. Baya smiled and said nothing. She walked upstairs. Lu Shuang woke up too. He brushed his teeth with his toothbrush and came out of the bathroom. Are you hungry? Baya asked softly. Lu Shuang touched his stomach. I think I woke up because I was hungry. Let's have breakfast first, Baya said. She turned around and shouted to Song Shiyu, Mom, we want to have breakfast. Coming. Song Shiyu brought over the pancakes she made. Lu Shuang took a big bite and looked around. Where's Xing Buhua? Isn't he here? Yeah, Baya answered and ate her breakfast. I want to go somewhere later. Come with me. Where is it? Is it fun? Lu Shuang asked. Baya looked at her eyes that were as pure as the blue sky and white clouds. Her heart ached. To the temple. There's a very powerful master there. I want to see him. Fortune-telling? All right, I'll go and calculate it too. Lu Shuang said happily. After breakfast, Zhang Xingyu drove the car. Baya glanced at Lu Shuang, who knew nothing. Is there anything you want to do the most? What do I want to do the most? To be with my friend and lover, Lu Shuang said with a smile. Baya also smiled and asked meaningfully, what did Shenyin do? Will you forget him forever? There should be a lot of things that will make me forget him. For example, finding another woman. I won't give him a second chance, Lu Shuang said with certainty. How about you? How can you forget Gu Lingqing? Lu Shuang asked. Feelings can be accumulated, but they can also be used for consumption. I used to love Su Jiaran, but in the process of being with him, I used up all my love for him. Gu Lingqing gave me a lot of love, but when he died, the consumption stopped, so he will forever remain in my heart. So, death is the most difficult gap to cross. Yes, living is because of all kinds of contradictions, such as the deviation of one's outlook on life and so on. All of these will consume one's emotions. Only death can heal the pain with time. One can forget the love they once loved, but it cannot consume the emotions buried in one's heart. So, when I found out that Gu Lingqing lost his memory, I only remembered that he chose to leave. I remember Zhou Hailan chose to leave because I couldn't drive away the light in his heart, Baya sighed. So, no one will drive away the Gu Lingqing in your heart, right? Lu Shuang asked sadly. Hello everyone, I'm Qin Tangtang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 714. Luckily, Shenyin doesn't have a dead person in his heart. Otherwise, I'd never have anything to do with him, Lu Shuang said bluntly. Baya did not say anything. Zhang Xingyu looked at Lu Shuang worriedly. He looked at Baya even more worriedly. Baya's eyes were red. She held Lu Shuang's hand tightly. What's wrong? Lu Shuang could tell that there was something wrong with Baya. Later, if Master Gufa gives you a divination, remember to tell me what it is, Baya said. Okay. Asterisk at the foot of the mountain, There was another huge queue, waiting for Master Gufa. Bai Ye and Lu Shuang lined up obediently. The young novice monk ran over and bowed to Bai Ye. Grandmasters, Master Gufa invites you up. Lu Shuang looked at Bai Ye in surprise. We're so lucky. Yeah, Bai Ye replied. They followed the young novice monk to the meditation room. Grandmaster Bai, please go in first. Cool girl, wait at the door, Bai Ye instructed. Lu Shuang nodded. He craned his neck and looked inside curiously. Bai Ye went in first. Master Gufa did not change much. He was wearing a glowing white robe. He put down his brush and looked at Bai Ye. He smiled slightly. These words are my answer to you. Bai Ye glanced at the words on the paper and read them out loud. It's like a dream. The end is the starting point. Can you tell me what exactly this sentence means? Grandmaster is a very intelligent person. You should be able to comprehend it very quickly. It shouldn't take more than a month. That's all I have to say. As for the friend at your door, I won't calculate anything for her. You can take her away. Grandmaster Gufa nodded. There was not the slightest fluctuation in his expression. He was like a cool breeze. There is one thing I don't understand. Great Master Ancient Law, have you ever been disturbed by the mortal world? If not, then what do you feel is the meaning of living? Bai Ye asked softly. He really wanted to consult this expert. Grandmaster Gufan smiled. Everyone has a different view of life and a different way of living. Although I have already jumped out of the world of mortals, even taking care of a flower or a grass is enough for me to enjoy the beauty of the present. I can see flowers bloom and wilt, clouds gather and disperse, but in your eyes, you can only see your heart. If you let go of your obsession, you can also experience life. If you can't let go of your obsession, the world is empty. Bai Ye understood. She had always been a person with an exquisite heart. By letting go of Gu Lingqing, she could start a new life and choose a man who loved her. However, she was not willing to let go. Even if it was heavy, she had to carry it on. You said it was like a dream. The end is the beginning. Can I continue my fate with him? Bai Ye asked. Her eyes were burning with hope. I have said enough. I won't send you off. Grandmaster Gufan refused to answer. She had already asked twice. If he wanted to answer, he had already answered. If she asked again, there would be no answer. Can I ask a question on behalf of my friend? You can't. However, I can tell you that her fate is very unstable. She was originally a carefree little pig in the forest, but she saved a phoenix and accepted the phoenix as her godmother. She learned the phoenix's abilities, and before dying, the phoenix also gave her its fate pill. You tell me she is a phoenix, but she is not as good as a phoenix. She is a little pig. Because of her strange fate, she looks ordinary but not ordinary. I can't show it to her. I'm sorry. Zisu, send the guest out. Grandmaster Gufan said to the little monk outside the door. Bai Ye knew that if she continued to stay, it would only make things difficult for others. She nodded. Thank you, Grandmaster. She turned and walked out. Is it my turn? Lu Shuang asked curiously. Bai Ye shook her head apologetically. Let's go. I have something to tell you. What is it? Lu Shuang was confused. The video of Hua Zifeng pushing Nangongyu into the snake pit was posted online. They imprisoned the real Nangongyu and put the fake Nangongyu by their side. They even wanted to kill her. These videos were also posted online. Your identity will be exposed soon. So, you can't stay by Xinyan's side anymore. I will arrange for you to go abroad tonight. Leave here and don't come back. Lu Shuang stared at Bai Ye. His mind was blank. Are you joking with me? I'm not joking. The one who went to look for Xin Yan yesterday was Nangongyu's brother. He came for his sister. Since yesterday, Xin Yan has walked into someone else's plot. Bai Ye passed the phone to Lu Shuang. You will understand when you see it. Lu Shuang immediately turned on his phone and browsed the comments on the internet. The attacks now were more intense than in the morning. Many netizens were looking for the woman behind Xinyan. Now, Xinyan is thinking of ways to protect you. But once the M nation takes action, the Hua family will appear as the victim to protect themselves. By then, you won't be able to leave even if you want to, Bai Ye reminded him. I'm going to look for him, Lu Shuang said with reddened eyes. Baiya hugged Lu Shuang. There are reporters at the entrance of the presidential palace. If you go, you will be exposed. Moreover, you won't be able to get in. There must be a way to get in. I can't leave without even seeing him, Xiao Bai. Lu Shuang turned back to look at her. You know I'm not a disloyal person. How can I leave him like this? He said before that even if he can't be the president and is imprisoned, he doesn't want to leave. Now that he is like this, once I leave, there will be nothing left. Be rational. Your appearance will not help him at all. Moreover, it will prove that he is cheating. As long as you don't appear, he still has the possibility to argue. He won't be attacked by the public. If you go, you will hurt him. Then what should I do? Oh yes, I need to call him. Lu Shuang immediately took out his phone and called Shen Yin. Yesterday, when Shen Yin did not call her, she felt relaxed and could be free for a day. However, she did not want to be free forever. She would rather be imprisoned by him. Shen Yin did not pick up. Lu Shuang was so anxious that he wanted to cry. He held back his emotions, afraid that he would be impulsive and not be able to talk properly. Shen Yin did not pick up her call. Lu Shuang was even more worried and continued to call. Shen Yin still did not pick up. Lu Shuang continued to call. That's enough, Shuang girl. Don't make things difficult for him. Do you remember what I told you before? If you love him, do what he wants you to do, Baiya advised. If he loves me, shouldn't he do what I want? If he doesn't love me, why should I love him? Lu Shuang's voice was choked. She wiped the corner of her eyes and continued to call as if she had gone crazy. Shen Yin finally picked up the call. Chapter 7:15. Yeah, Shen Yin replied calmly. Lu Shuang wiped his tears. In her heart, Shen Yin had always been arrogant and strong. He would always smile at her. Although he was hateful sometimes, he would generally please her, spoil her, take her side and tolerate her. But now, he gave her the feeling that he was sad and depressed. Don't be afraid. It's okay. I'm willing to be imprisoned with you, Lu Shuang said. He felt sad and pursed his lips to prevent himself from crying. Shen Yin smiled. He sounded very happy. Why are you still smiling? It's all my fault. If I didn't ask you to deal with Nangongyu, you wouldn't have let Hua Zixing push her into the snake pit. If Nangongyu was fine, nothing would have happened. But it's because of me that you're in this predicament now, Lu Shuang said with self-blame. My woman was bullied. If I don't stand up for her, I'm not worthy to be her man. Since that's the case, there's no need to be sad. At most, I'll fall from my horse, but my life won't be in danger. Our country only has moral restrictions on extramarital affairs. There are no legal sanctions. I won't die. But you imprisoned Nangongyu and prepared to shoot them. That's not a small crime, right? Lu Shuang said, choking with sobs. I imprisoned them, but I didn't order them to be shot. It was Hua Zixing's private order. Go abroad first. I'll send Debao to you. I'll also give you the card. The password is your birthday. If I go, what about you? I won't go. If you don't go, you'll be in more danger than me. I didn't kill anyone. I didn't commit any crime. Why would I be in more danger? Because you're the culprit. Because of you, Nangongyu was punished. Because of you, Hua Zixing was wronged. The M nation won't do anything to you in the open, but there will definitely be people who will deal with you in the dark. I might not be able to protect you in the future. Be good and don't make me worry, Shen Yin said. He said in a deep voice. I don't want to leave. I want to stay with you. If you keep her company, it will only make the people more disgusted and sympathize with Hua Zixing. It will also cause public anger in Country M. You're hurting her, Baiya interrupted. I have no choice but to walk? Why am I leaving again? I don't want to go. Lu Shuang cried and fell to the ground. Not wanting to make Shen Yin sad, she hung up the phone. Baiya could understand Lu Shuang's feelings. Right now, she must be very sad, distressed, helpless, and afraid that the next moment would be the moment of separation. Therefore, he only hoped that time could pass a little slower, a little slower. Even if he could only look at him from afar, it would be enough. Just like the time when she saw the bullet go through the back of Gu Lingqing's head, She didn't dare to believe it, didn't dare to face it, and would rather stay at the moment when she held his body in her arms. At least, at this moment, even though they were sad, they were still together. She could still hug him. Lu Shuang was crying too sadly. Baiya wanted to comfort him, but she was also sad. She turned her face away and looked at the sky in the distance, quietly crying. She never wanted to be pitied, it would hurt her self-esteem. But now, she really felt that she was pitiful, so pitiful that she complained about the cruelty of God and the unfairness of fate, but there was nothing she could do. She fought with people and officials, but she couldn't win against God. Master Gufa said that her obsession was too heavy, so how could her fate not be heavy? She only felt the cruelty of the world, and she no longer had the eyes to observe beauty. Let's go, we'll have to go eventually, Baiya said hoarsely. Lu Shuang held Baiya's hand. Can we go together? Let's go to Country D. With you by my side, I'll be more confident to reunite with Shenyan. She didn't want to tell Lu Shuang that she would accompany Gu Lingqing after she sent Lu Shuang away. Lu Shuang had just left his lover. If she knew that her best friend was going to die, she would be even sadder. Baiya squatted down in front of Lu Shuang. Shenyan will try her best to come back to you. You just have to wait patiently and take care of your child. Why can't you go with me? Lu Shuang didn't understand and begged with tears. I'm sorry. She didn't know what else to say except this sentence. Without Gu Lingqing, she was actually living a life worse than death. If she went to Country D, she would be worried that she would die in front of her, which would be a bigger blow to Lu Shuang. I'm sorry. Baiya still said the same sentence. She pressed the back of Lu Shuang's head and pressed her forehead against hers. She murmured, At least I'm still alive. There'll be a day when we can reunite. For that day, I'll change myself. Lu Shuang couldn't say anything. She just cried until her head hurt and she couldn't breathe. She knew that she would only become a burden and weakness for Shenyan if she stayed. She could only leave on the way back. Lu Shuang cried until she had no tears left. Her eyes were red and swollen as she looked outside in a daze. Baiya contacted Alan. It seems that every time I contact you, it's to ask for your help, Baiya said apologetically. I'm more than happy to help you. Tell me, as long as I can do it, Alan promised with a smile. Do you still remember Lu Shuang? I asked you to help her go to Country D. This time, I need you to help her go to Country D. No problem. Where is she now? Still in Country A. She'll fly to England tonight. Please send someone to pick her up at the airport in England. Call me after sending her to Country D. Finally, arrange a new identity for her. I hope she can disappear from the face of the earth. No problem. I know what to do, Alan said with certainty. Baiya was silent. She owed Alan too much. She couldn't repay him in this lifetime. Alan, thank you. Alan smiled good-naturedly. You're welcome. Baiya hung up the phone. After returning, she helped Lu Shuang pack her luggage and transferred 10 million to Lu Shuang's account. Don't send me off. You're pregnant. It's too tiring, Lu Shuang said with red eyes. It's okay. It's been 3 months. I'll send you off, Baiya said with a smile. This was the last time they could see each other. She cherished the time she had with her friend. If there's a next life, we'll still be sisters. Lu Shuang, who had just calmed down, became emotional again and said with tears in his eyes. We'll be sisters forever, and our friendship will last forever, Baiya replied. They took a car to the airport together. Lu Shuang was talkative. He chattered about the interesting things in their past. Baiya listened quietly. No matter how much she wanted to say, the time was up. Lu Shuang was about to register. Xiao Bai, will you come to see me? Chapter 716. I want you to come and see me, Lu Shuang said stubbornly. Baiya nodded after a moment of silence. Lu Shuang left reluctantly and turned back to look at Baiya. Baiya stood on the spot and watched her walk into the waiting room. She only turned around and got into Zhang Xingyu's car when her plane took off. Xingyu, can you help me with the last 2 things? Baiya asked politely. Just tell me what you want, I'll do my best. Also, I'm sincere to you, Zhang Xingyu said with a choked voice. Whether it's sincere or not, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow, help me buy all the world's scenery postcards. It doesn't matter if there's no world, just buy as many as you can, Baya ordered. All the world's postcards? Okay, I promise I'll complete the task. Also, I'll mark all the papers in the next 2 days. I'll find those who have problems. Tell Leng Shuang the name list. He can believe it if he wants, but it doesn't matter if he doesn't. Chief Leng actually respects Chief Gu a lot. Everyone spoke too rashly in the morning, Zhang Xingyu said carefully. Baya sneered. Whether it's respect or having your own ambitions, we'll know in the future. However, it has nothing to do with me. If you do these 2 things well, you'll be worthy of me. That's all. Baya didn't want to talk anymore. She closed her eyes to rest. An hour later, she went back to the villa. It was already midnight. She didn't go back to her room. Instead, she went to the library and called Leng Shuang. Leng Shuang was still awake. He picked up the phone, but his voice was cold and distant. Madam, do you still remember the treasures I gave you? You've taken them all back. Please return them to me, okay? Baya said in an official tone. I gave you the money from selling the treasures. The treasures after that were seized by the military, so I don't think there's a need to return them to you, Leng Shuang said coldly. The third eye belongs to my husband. Can you return it to me? Baya asked calmly. It's useless to you anyway. Moreover, Chief Gu has passed away. So, you're going to take it for yourself? Baya asked with a mocking smile. I'm not taking it. I just think you haven't thought about what's right and what's wrong. You're being too soft-hearted, Leng Shuang said coldly. I know what you mean. I'll contact you later. Baya said. She had already expected Leng Ya's decision, so she wasn't too. She called Xingbuhua. Where are you? Outside the library, Xingbuhua said. Bai Ya said. Shuang, Xing. Shuang, come in. I have something to tell you. Baya hung up the phone and sat on the chair. I told Shenyan that I hoped he would spare your life. He promised not to touch you. Now, everything is under your control. Shenyan has encountered such a thing. I'm afraid he has no chance to be the president. Can you spare his life and let him find Lu Shuang? Baya asked. Not now. Although Shenyan is not going to be the president, he still has a lot of connections. If we don't uproot them this time, there will be endless troubles in the future. Letting him go is like letting a tiger go back to the mountain. With his strategy, he will soon be able to make a comeback. Xingbuhua said cautiously. He became the president to protect his family. As long as you don't touch his family, he won't think about being the president again. This position is lonely, and the woman he loves is not suitable to be the president's wife. You can't control other people's hearts. I promise you that I will spare Shenyan's life. What I want is his freedom. The conditions are very generous. Gu Lingqing has a third eye. I can give it to you. Gu Tianhang also got a lot of treasures. I think you should know that these treasures are now kept by the military. I can give them to you. I can also give you biochemical weapons and their antidote. You have biochemical weapons. You have biochemical weapons. No one will be your opponent. What are you afraid of? Baya said coldly. Xingbuhua looked at her in silence. Okay, I promise you. But not now. I can't let Shenyan go now. When I become the president, I will let him go. Swear. Baya asked. Xingbuhua put his hand on the side of his face. Lu Shuang was his good friend. Shenyan was the person Lu Shuang loved. He didn't want Baya to be too disappointed in him. I swear that 1 year after I become the president, I will set Shenyan free. Xingbuhua said. Baya didn't want to ask why 1 year after he became the president. Xingbuhua was very vigilant. It was already the best that he could agree to this. The third eye and the treasures are with Leng Shuang. Now Leng Shuang is following your lead. If you ask him, he should hand them over to you. In addition, I will give you the address of the key and the biochemical weapons. You can send someone to get them. It's better to get them yourself. The virus needs to be minus 1,000 degrees to be eliminated. Keep them or destroy them. It's up to you. Okay, Xiaoya. Xingbuhua squatted down in front of Baya. He held her hand and said sincerely, I hope you understand that what I did was what I should do. You didn't tell me before because you were afraid that I would object. Since you have done it, I don't want to say anything more. I am a little tired now. I will sleep in the library tonight. Baya pulled her hand out. It's a little cold in the library. You can sleep in the room. I will sleep in the guest room. If Mom asks, I will tell her that I work too late and don't want to disturb your sleep. Thank you. Baya didn't refuse and walked to her room. That night, she didn't sleep well. She woke up several times in the middle. Every time she woke up, she was woken up by pain. After a long time, she fell asleep. When she woke up, it was already 10 o'clock in the morning. At this time, Lu Shuang should have arrived in the UK. She immediately looked for her phone and found that it was turned off. She guessed that Xing Buhua came in and turned off her phone. She frowned and turned it on again. But then she thought that Xing Buhua might have done something to her phone when she was sleeping. She removed the phone and made sure that there was no chip installed in it. Then she checked the phone for viruses. After confirming that there was no monitoring link, she called Alan with relief. Sorry, I just woke up. Have you picked up Lu Shuang? Baya asked worriedly. Yes, I've already sent her to Country D. She should be arriving at Country D by now. Please find a safe place to settle him down first. I will ask Shinian to send her child there. Please ensure his safety these few days. Baya said cautiously. Okay, I will call you after he has settled down. Oh yes, this time, it will be hard for Shinian to make a comeback, right? There has been a lot of internal turmoil in your country these few months. Is everything okay? Alan asked. An exciting political battle. You can't imagine who will come to power in the end. Baya said indifferently. It won't be you, will it? I heard that Sheng Dongcheng and Zhuochuani were defeated by you. I hate politics. I'm not cut out for this. You will know who it will be when the time comes. One more thing, Alan, I need to trouble you. Hello, everyone. I am Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 717. Go ahead. I will send you some cards. These cards are postcards from all over the world. Please pretend to be me every once in a while and ask your friends to help me send them to Lu Shuang from all over the world. Alan was silent for 3 seconds. Are you all right? I'm fine. I don't have many friends in the world. I can only ask you. Baya said with a smile. Okay, I understand. Don't worry. She trusted Alan. It's a pity that I haven't had the chance to treat you to dinner. Don't worry. There's plenty of time. Alan was always like this. He never gave others a burden. There's plenty of time. Baya also said the same 4 words. Asterisk in the past few days, Baya locked herself in the library. She graded all the test papers and asked Zhang Xingyu to send them to Leng Shuang. She also wrote all the postcards. Some of the content on the postcards were her mood, some were instructions, some were teasing, and some were her predictions of the future. She wrote down the things that would happen to most people. She tried to make the postcards as real as possible. After she was done, she sent them to Alan. Finally, she wrote a letter to Xing Buhua. Xing Buhua, when you see this letter, I think I'll have gone to see Gu Lingqing. I also have a student that I want to give to you. The person in charge is Du Xinbua. I'll call him. I've signed all the documents. As long as you sign them, the student will be yours. I believe that you'll make good use of the student. There are 1.2 billion in my Swiss bank account. That's the money from selling the treasure. I prepared it for defeating Xing Dongqing. The account number and password are all in the confidential files on my computer. The password is 333. Also, the money in my account was given to me by my grandpa. Let's go according to the law. In fact, I should thank you. Thank you for appearing. You filled me with hope for life. And because of you, I avenged Gu Lingqing. I don't want to hate you. I just hope that you can keep your promise and let Shinian go so that she can reunite with Lu Shuang. In addition, I will go to the deserted island. That is where I feel the happiest. If possible, bury Gu Lingqing next to me. If that's not possible, you can bury me next to Gu Lingqing. Finally, I hope that brother will be a good king who loves the people and takes good care of my mother. Baya's masterpiece. Baya put the letter in the express delivery box. Xing Buhua pushed the door open and entered. Baya turned to look at him. Why are you back so early today? I missed you, Xingbuhua said. Baya raised the corner of his lips slightly, locking his deep and evil eyes. I think there are others. There are a lot of comments on the internet, hoping that Shen Yan will step down. Shen Yan is struggling on his deathbed. In fact, the more he struggles, the more he will lose. You want me to call him and ask him to surrender? Baya asked. This is the best way. It can also answer to America. If he is not willing, I want to use your student as the last attack. The sooner I take over, the better this incident will be. Xingbuhua tried to persuade Baya. Baya nodded. I'll call him first. Baya picked up his phone and made a call in front of Xingbuhua. Shen Yan picked up the phone. Lu Shuang said that she is safe with her child. Thank you. Baya felt a little sad. Shen Yan, I've already talked to Xingbuhua. After he takes over, he will detain you for a year. After a year, he will set you free. Now that Lu Shuang is safe, you can go to him after a year. Don't struggle anymore. Xingbuhua has already made a move on my people. Do you know about this? He is very shrewd. Do you believe that he will let me go after a year? He won't. He is worried that even if I don't take over, I will support my people to take over, Shen Yan said rationally. Baya did not dare to say that, because she really could not control people's hearts. A year's time was too long. There were many things that could change. Just like how she would never have thought that the future president would be Xingbuhua. But it's useless for you to struggle. You have to stop struggling, abdicate, and accept the corresponding legal punishment. Only then will the anger of country M be appeased. This is good for our country. I have to be worthy of the sacrifice of those behind me. This might be the reason why Xingbuhua attacked your people. This will only make things worse. The more you sacrifice, the more you will lose, isn't it? You are a rational person. You should be able to distinguish between right and wrong. When there are times, it's not about the gains and losses, but about the spirit. If you do this, Xingbuhua will not let you off. Baya was anxious. Winner takes all. I have already expected the result if I lose. Shen Yan did not care. It was as if she had already considered the worst result. What about Lu Shuang? Do you have the heart to leave her orphaned and widowed? She has been waiting for you. She is a free and easy person. She will forget me in 2 years. Shen Yan's tone became gloomy. What if I say that Xingbuhua will let your people go? Will you let them go? At least show your sincerity now. You have to know that if I use my students, you will definitely die. So, you have decided to help Xingbuhua, right? Shen Yan's voice became cold. She was not helping Xingbuhua. She had just decided to leave. Xingbuhua was Gu Lingqing's brother. No matter how wrong he was, she could not hurt him. She was worried that Gu Lingqing would blame her. After she died, her students would only marry Xingbuhua. I'm sorry. I also hope to end it. In the long run, it has caused turmoil in the country. Shen Yan was silent. He was struggling on his deathbed. He knew that struggling was useless. If Baya did not do anything, he could still struggle for 2 months and find a turning point in the struggle. However, Baya had left. If he did not want it to end, he would have to end it. I understand. I will hold a press conference tomorrow. I will resign from all the positions of the president and apologize. Is that okay? Shen Yan said helplessly. I'm sorry. Shen Yan did not say anything. He hung up the phone. He used his actions to show that he did not accept her apology. Baya was also helpless. She put away her phone and looked at Xingbuhua. You promised me that you would let him go after you became president for a year. Xiaoya, I know it's hard for you to be stuck in the middle. But you have to make a choice. Otherwise, you will only hurt yourself, Xingbuhua reminded her. It's okay if you hurt me. I want to try my best to protect the people I love. I want to protect Shen Yan's heart, just like how I wanted to protect you. I'm a little bored. I want to send a package. Baya took the package. I will ask Zhang Xingyu to go with you. Now that Shen Yan's matter has not been resolved, you will be in danger too, Xingbuhua said cautiously. Baya nodded and walked out. Chapter 7:18. Zhang Xingyu was driving. He didn't know why, but he felt that Baya was too calm, as if there was no life in her. Madam, that Hua Zixing is too much. She's crying on the internet that she's a victim. I didn't expect the Hua family to turn against each other. However, in order to protect Lu Shuang, the president took out an agreement. It stated that he and Hua Zixing were married by agreement, and their engagement would be cancelled after 4 years. It was a slap to Hua Zixing's face. Oh, the internet also revealed that Nan Gongyu was a man in disguise. That man was Hua Zixing's previous doctor and her first love. They seemed to be having an affair. It's more interesting than a novel. The Hua family is finished this time. Hua Zixing and Nan Gongyu ran away too. I don't know where they went, Zhang Xingyu said. Bai Ye's expression didn't change. Although she didn't read the news on the internet, the result was similar to what she had expected. Zhang Xingyu, I'll send the package later. Just wait for me outside, Bai Ye said softly. Master asked me to stay by your side and protect you. Who else do you think can threaten me? Shenyan? He won't. If anything happens to me because of him, Lu Shuang will never forgive him. It's not Shenyan. It's Shenyan's people. They might capture you to threaten Sir, Zhang Xingyu corrected. Shenyan's matter can't be changed by Xing Buhua not targeting him. Isn't Shenyan courting death by capturing me? It will only make Shen Yiyan more guilty. Or did Xing Buhua ask you to monitor me and not give me any freedom? Bai Ye said coldly, looking at Zhang Xingyu's face. No, I'll wait for you in the car, Zhang Xingyu compromised. Bai Ye went to the post office. It was the address of her manor, Xing Buhua. Under normal circumstances, the post office would send it out tonight. Even if it was from the city, it would only reach Xing Buhua the next day. After she disappeared, even if Xing Buhua guessed that she went to the deserted island, it would be too late. Death didn't take long. She went out from the back door and took a taxi to the pier. Zhang Xingyu waited outside the door for more than 10 minutes. Seeing that Bai Ye still did not come out, he went in and looked around. He went in and found that Bai Ye was gone. He panicked and called Bai Ye immediately. Seeing that it was Zhang Xingyu, Bai Ye answered. I'm taking a walk. Don't worry. Madam, where are you going? Don't scare me. If something happens to you, Mr. Xing will definitely not let me off. Zhang Xingyu was worried. I'll call Xing Buhua, Bai Ye said and hung up the phone. She called Xing Buhua. What's wrong? Xing Buhua asked softly. I want to walk around alone. Don't let Zhang Xingyu follow me. It's too dangerous to go alone. How about I ask Zhang Xingyu to follow you from afar? Xing Buhua asked. I don't want anyone to follow me. No one can. Don't vent your anger on others. Bai Ye hung up the phone. Xing Buhua had a bad premonition and dialed Zhang Xingyu's number. Where is Madam now? Well, sir, I've lost track of my wife. I don't know where she is right now. Zhang Xingyu apologized. Find Leng Shua immediately. I want to find her in 10 minutes, Xing Buhua said anxiously. Yes. Bai Ye sat in the taxi and closed her eyes to rest. The taxi suddenly slowed down. What's going on? The driver asked. Bai Ye opened her eyes and looked ahead. There was a roadblock in front of her. She had a bad feeling. She only thought that Xing Buhua wouldn't be able to catch up with her. She didn't think of a roadblock. If she was pregnant, her IQ would really drop. Let's stop here, Bai Ye said. She gave the driver 200 yuan, put on her down jacket and hat, got out of the car and ran to the roadside. She had only run for 100 meters when 5 soldiers stopped in front of her. Please come with us, one of the soldiers said. Wait. Bai Ye called Xing Buhua. I don't even have the right to come out for some fresh air? I told you to let Zhang Xingyu follow you from afar. You should get rid of Zhang Xingyu and leave. What do you want to do by yourself? Xing Buhua was angry and raised his voice. What can I do? My passport and identity card are at home. What do you think I can do? Let my men follow you. At least let me ensure your safety. Xing Buhua used a commanding tone. Let them follow you. Is that okay? That's all. Tell them. Bai Ye hung up. Xing Buhua called their leader. Follow her closely. Report to me if anything happens. Yes. Bai Ye looked at the soldiers and replied. She walked to the roadside and hailed a taxi. 2 soldiers got into the car and the others followed in their cars. The roadblock allowed them to go. Baya went to the pier and was about to board the boat when she was stopped by the soldiers again. Their leader called Xing Buhua to report. After hearing it, Xing Buhua immediately called Baya. You want to go to the deserted island? I want to stay there for a day, Baya said. Can't I? Come back tomorrow? Xing Buhua asked. There's nothing to eat there. I can't stay for more than a few days. I want to have some peace and quiet there, Baya said in a low voice. 3 days. I'll go with my soldiers and come back in 3 days. Is that okay? She had lied many times. This one time was not a big deal. Xing Buhua allowed them to go. Baya finally boarded the boat. She asked the soldiers to turn off their phones and start the autopilot. She slept in her room. The soldiers took turns to guard her door. Xing Buhua was working in the study. Zhang Xingyu knocked on the door and entered. Sir, no matter how I think about it, I still feel that something is wrong. What's wrong? Xing Buhua asked without lifting his head. If Madam wants to go to the deserted island, she can just tell you. You will definitely agree. Why would she go through so much trouble and sneak around? Zhang Xingyu said. Xing Buhua stopped what he was doing and looked at him. Moreover, after I told her about Xinyan, Madam did not show any expression. It was as if everything had nothing to do with her. I'm a little worried about that feeling. What are you worried about? Actually, to Madam, that deserted island is her and Chief Gu's home. Now that she has sent her best friend away, she even asked me to buy a lot of postcards and sent them all at once. It feels like she has done everything she wanted to do. She is relieved. She feels relieved and leaves. Xing Buhua's eyes narrowed. You're saying that she wants to commit suicide? After Madam found out about Chief Gu's death, she wanted to commit suicide. But when you appeared, she thought that you were Chief Gu and stopped her plan. Now that she is sure that Chief Gu is dead, she doesn't want to live anymore, Zhang Xingyu explained. Chapter 719. She didn't cry or make a fuss these days. She was very calm and did her own things quietly. She was no different from her usual self. He thought that she had let it go. He immediately called his men. His men had already switched off their phones. The signal transmitter on the island needs to be turned on for there to be a signal. If it's not turned on, there won't be any signal, Zhang Xingyu reminded. Arrange for a speedboat to go to the island immediately, Xing Buhua said anxiously. Although the ship was sailing on autopilot, Baya still sped up to avoid any accidents. She adjusted the settings in her brain and closed her eyes to rest on the bed. Actually, she couldn't sleep at all. She was going to sleep soon and there was no need for her to sleep. But what could she do if she was awake? So, she should just continue sleeping. Time passed by and in the middle of the night, the cruise docked. Baya put a knife in her pocket and came out of the room. The sea breeze was a little cold. She shrank her neck. Madam, please wait for a moment, the soldier said. After confirming that it was safe, he let Baya get down from the bed. Baya returned to her and Gu Lingqing's little nest. The heater was not turned on in the room. She opened the cabinet and the bedding was a little damp. But when she came back here, her heart warmed and she felt more at peace. She smiled slightly. She opened the door and the soldiers stood outside. There are a few rooms here. You can choose one to sleep in. The bedding is a little damp. Before you sleep, use the electric blanket to warm it up. The electric blanket and bedding are in the cabinet, Baya said gently. Baya shook her head. I'm not hungry. You can go and eat. I'm sorry for making you suffer. Baya nodded and closed the door. She looked around the room. The last time she came here to bury the fake Gu Lingqing, she had already kept all of Gu Lingqing's things. She took the collection box at the bottom of the cabinet and opened it. There was a pistol inside. It belonged to Gu Lingqing and there were 5 bullets in it. She took it out and put it on the bed. There were also towels, toothpaste, toothbrush, and cups that Gu Lingqing had used. She didn't throw them away, thinking that they would come back here one day. He had finally returned, but this was the result. In the collection box, there were small things like headphones, USB flash drives, unfinished chewing gum, bowls made of coconut shells by Gu Lingqing, and small handicrafts made of bamboo. It was really a slow memory. She looked through them one by one, and when she was done, she took them to the roof and burned them all. She didn't know what others would do with these things after she died. At the very least, they would burn them. Perhaps after she died, she could continue to keep them and cherish them. It took an entire hour to burn all of these. The sound of a motor rang in his ears. Baya frowned, stood up, and looked at the sky. If there was no light in the sky, then it was not a plane. On the surface of the sea, there was a faint light that seemed to be a speedboat. The speedboat was getting closer and closer. The person on the boat seemed to be Xingbua. Baya hurried back to her room. Stop her, Xingbua shouted anxiously. Baya entered the room. Without thinking, she picked up the pistol, pointed it at her temple, and pressed the trigger without hesitation. Clack. Baya was surprised that it was a blank bullet. The door was pushed open. She subconsciously aimed at the door. A few soldiers rushed in. Don't come over, Baya said sternly. The soldiers looked at each other and didn't dare to step forward. Xiaoya, don't. Xingbua looked at the door in panic. His eyes were bloodshot, and his hair was messy. He stared at the gun in Baya's hand. She was really here to commit suicide. He wasn't calm like before. He didn't care that Baya's gun was pointed at him. Why would Baya shoot at him? It seemed that he couldn't stop her at all, so she pointed the gun at her own head. Xingbua immediately stopped in his tracks. He wasn't calm. Why did you do this? You still have a baby in your belly. Xiaoyan is still waiting for you to take care of him. Didn't Song Xiu treat you well? Didn't I treat you well? Aren't you worried that I'll go back on my words after a year and not let Shenyan go? I don't have that much power to decide other people's lives. Baya stepped back. I've tried my best. You tried your best to end your illness? Are you worthy of the dead Gu Lingqing? He risked his life to save your life several times. So I'm going to pay him back. Xingbua, don't stop me. You can't stop me. Do you believe that I'll throw your body into the sea after you die? Xingbua threatened. That's also my life. My life. Baya said with tears in her eyes. She pressed the trigger. Xingbua shouted anxiously, Gu Lingqing isn't dead at all. What's the use of your death? Another dud. Baya was stunned. Xingbua was also stunned. She looked at him slowly. Are you telling the truth or lying to me? He wanted to lie to her. Gu Lingqing wasn't dead, but he was no different from being dead. He was worried that if he told her that Gu Lingqing wasn't dead, she would go to Gu Lingqing's place and leave after Gu Lingqing died. He had no chance at all. But now it seemed that whether Gu Lingqing was dead or alive, he had no chance, even if he had the same face as Gu Lingqing. But he still hoped that she was alive, just like how he always hoped that Gu Lingqing was alive. It's true. He's not dead. You're lying to me. Baya didn't believe him. She looked at the clip on her phone and rotated it to make sure that the next round wouldn't be a blank. I'll take you to see her now. If what I said is false, it's not too late for you to die. Anyway, if you want to die, I can't save you no matter what, right? Xingbua said anxiously. His eyes were fixed on Baya's phone. Baya looked at him suspiciously. The bullet went through the back of his head. I saw it with my own eyes. How could he not be dead? If he's not dead, why doesn't he come out to see me? He has been unconscious. When I brought him out of the cold market, he was still unconscious. I have more than 10 doctors in the base who take care of him every day. If you don't believe me, you can turn on the signal. I'll ask them to send a video to you, Xingbua said. Baya believed him, or rather, she wanted to believe him. The signal transmitter is on the roof. Just turn it on. Xingbua's men immediately went to turn it on. There was signal on Xingbua's phone. He turned on Vife and sent a video invitation. Chief, please give me your instructions. The other party seemed to be still asleep. He got up in a daze and answered the call. Go to Gu Lingqing's ward now. I want to see his condition, Xingbua ordered. He's still unconscious, the doctor said as he walked. After a while, he entered the room and pointed the camera at Gu Lingqing, who was lying on the bed. Hello everyone, I'm Qin Tangdi. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 720. Baya looked at the Gu Lingqing on the screen in Xingbuhua's hand. Her hands were trembling. She took the phone from Xingbuhua and stared at Gu Lingqing, who was lying on the bed. He was much thinner than before, as if there was no flesh on his face. His chin was very sharp, and he was sleeping quietly. Xingbua's doctor had indeed taken good care of him. The beard on Gu Lingqing's face had been shaved clean, and he looked very neat and clean. As she looked at him, her eyes turned red, but she still couldn't bear to look away. "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" "His condition is fluctuating. I was afraid that if I told you, what would you do if he died?" Xingbuhua said in a low voice, looking at Bai Ya's side profile with infatuation. This girl had entered his dream a long time ago, but he had never had her. It was as if he had lost her. Fulfilling her wish was perhaps the only thing he could do at the moment. "I'll bring you to see him now. You can take a rest on the boat." "Okay," Bai Ya replied, still staring at the screen. Xingbuhua took the phone and hung up. Bai Ya looked at him, then at his phone. "I want to see him again." "You'll be able to see the real him soon," Xingbuhua said in a hoarse voice. His voice sounded a little strange as he walked forward. He chose to fulfill her wish, but his heart still felt like it was being cut by a knife. It hurt so much that even breathing was painful. When she smiled at him previously, he thought that he could take her place and take care of her. She smiled, but she just wanted to leave. He won the world, but he lost to her, on the boat. Bai Ya was agitated and excited. She hadn't slept for a day and night, but she still didn't want to sleep. She stared at Xingbuhua and asked, "How is he now? Did the doctor say that he will wake up? Will he be cured? I saw the bullet go through the back of his head." The location where the bullet entered was a coincidence. It didn't cause any intracranial hemorrhage, but there might be some injuries. Currently, a CT scan shows that it's slowly recovering. Xingbuhua comforted him. Bai Ya was like a curious baby. "So, it will be fine, right?" He had told her before that his condition was unstable, but she seemed to have forgotten about it. Her eyes were wide open, looking at him with hope. He didn't have the heart to give her another blow. There were a few cases of people being shot through the head overseas, but they were all saved. They are still alive and well. Right? I saw on the news that there was a girl who was shot in the head when she was young. After she fainted, she woke up and thought that she was fine. It was not until she was 60 years old that she felt a headache. She went to the hospital and found that there was a bullet in her head. After it was taken out, she was still alive. Bai Ya was full of hope. "My hands are clasped in prayer." She had changed from her previous cold and indifferent demeanor. Now, her entire person had become lively, and her eyes were sparkling like stars. Looking at the current Bai Ya, Xingbuhua realized that without Gu Lingqing, no matter how good Bai Ya was, she was just a walking corpse without emotions. The current Bai Ya was the most real. There was a Special Forces soldier who was shot several times in his body and head. He was brain dead but was saved by a research team. "He is still alive and well now," Xingbuhua said. "Which research team is so good? Does it really exist?" Bai Ya asked curiously. Xingbuhua nodded. "It exists, but that team is very elusive. It's hard for ordinary people to get in touch with them. Some people even said that it was the president who ordered the Special Forces soldier to be saved because he knew the secret. However, I looked for the president and he said that it wasn't the case. I used all kinds of connections. I only found out that the Special Forces soldier's name is LV Bowie." "What? LV Bowie? It's him?" Bai Ya was shocked. "You know him?" This time, it was Xingbua's turn to be surprised. "He was the one who gave me the biochemical weapon. He said that his team had risked their lives to get the weapon, but they were betrayed by their superiors. He had to go through a lot of trouble to escape." "Did he say that he was brain dead?" Xingbuhua asked. Bai Ya recalled. "He only told me that he got the biochemical weapon, but someone in the research team didn't die. Someone took the information. He was worried that a biochemical crisis would happen in the future, so he asked me to research the antidote. He said that he wanted to find out the truth because his brothers and family were all dead. We have to find LV Bowie first and confirm if he was saved by the mysterious research team. If he was, Ling Qing can be cured if we find the mysterious research team. Can you find LV Bowie? I think he should be in America. I'll go to America to look for him. Maybe I can find him, Bai Ye said. That's good. Rest well and sleep for a while. Otherwise, when you reach Ling Qing, you'll be exhausted first. Take care of Gu Ling Qing like this, Xing Buhua said, feeling sorry for her. Thank you, big brother. Xing Buhua smiled bitterly. He didn't want to be her big brother, but her husband. Now, he could only try his best to ensure that both of them were alive. Bai Ye went back to her room. She wanted to maintain her energy so that she could take care of Gu Ling Qing, so she forced herself to sleep. She woke up as soon as the ship docked. She immediately put on a down jacket and came out of her room. Xing Buhua saw Bai Ye. Put on your clothes. Be careful not to catch a cold. Bai Ye put on her clothes and chewed on a piece of gum. She looked at him eagerly. Follow me, Xing Buhua said. They walked to the dock. There were 3 black cars in front of them. The windows were all black. Xing Buhua got on the car in the middle. Bai Ye followed him and sat in the back seat. You can drive now, Xing Buhua ordered. He closed his eyes and pretended to sleep. The car started. Bai Ye was anxious. She asked Xing Buhua, how long until we get there? More than an hour. Let's rest for a while more, Xing Buhua said. More than an hour. Bai Ye was a little disappointed. Oh, by the way, please help me put up a missing person notice. I want to find LV Bowie. Many people are looking for LV Bowie. Their purpose is the biochemical weapon in his hands. If others know that you are related to this matter, I'm afraid you will be killed again. You can't look for him openly, Xing Buhua reminded her immediately. I know. Help me put up a missing person notice. They want him in a land and the United States. Just write it. Do you still remember the meeting in the attic? Bai Ye is looking for him. Contact him quickly. Then put up my photo. In this way, no one will know that I'm looking for LV Bowie. Only LV Bowie will know. Okay. I'll ask someone to put it up tomorrow. Thank you, Bai Ye said sincerely. Xing Buhua twitched the corner of his mouth. I saved my brother. If I want to thank you, I should be the one thanking you. Later, I thought about it. I won't thank you. We are a family. Chapter 721. She was looking forward to meeting Gu Ling Qing again. She was nervous, excited, and faintly, a little sour. But as long as she knew that he was still alive, it was enough for her to be happy. She slowly counted the time. A minute was like a year. Are we almost there? Are we almost there? Are we almost there? She asked for a total of 12 times, and the car finally stopped on the empty grass. Bai Ye looked in front and then looked back. She asked in confusion, why did we stop? Suddenly, the grass slowly dropped, and it dropped by 6 or 7 meters. The car was driving forward. We have entered the base. We will be there in about 3 minutes, Xing Buhua explained. Bai Ye nervously took a deep breath and looked forward. Xing Buhua looked at her slowly, infatuated and affectionate. Maybe she really didn't belong to him. The car stopped. Bai Ye couldn't wait to get out of the car and looked forward anxiously. Go in, Xing Buhua said in a low voice. Bai Ye hurriedly ran forward and pushed the door open. It was a long corridor. In the distance, there seemed to be a person who looked like a doctor standing there. Bai Ye quickly ran forward. The doctor opened the door. Bai Ye walked in and saw Gu Ling Qing lying on the hospital bed at a glance. The machine showed his heart beating. Bai Ye smiled, but she was afraid that all this was not real, so she stopped smiling. Step by step, she walked over slowly, as if she was afraid that she would disturb the dream and disappear. Finally, she walked to the window and looked at the man on the bed with infatuation. She didn't say anything, but her tears rolled down first. It was really Gu Ling Qing. Bai Ye cried tears of joy. She knelt on the ground, held Gu Ling Qing's cold hand, and put it on her face. It was his wide palm, and there were calluses left by long-term training. She was so excited that she couldn't say a word. She closed her eyes and kissed Gu Ling Qing's hand. When Master Gufa said that the end was the beginning, she finally understood what he meant. Ling Qing. When she opened her mouth, She realized that her voice was extremely hoarse. I'm here. I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm sorry. Gu Lingqing lay motionless on the bed. She didn't respond or speak. But she knew that he would be able to hear her voice. She leaned against his chest and listened to his heartbeat. It was the best sound she had ever heard. Xingbuhua stood at the door with tears in his eyes. He looked at the two people in front of him for a while. The two of them seemed to be immersed in their own world, not caring about what was happening around them. His presence here seemed to be unnecessary. Xingbuhua said to the person beside him, "Arrange a comfortable bed for her in the ward. She will take care of Gu Lingqing from now on. We must find a way to save Gu Lingqing." After finishing his words, Xingbuhua did not go in. He turned around and walked out of the door. His eyes were getting darker and darker. Perhaps he was destined to be alone. Baiya calmed herself down. She was unwilling to leave. She wiped away her tears and held Gu Lingqing's hand. "Lingqing, let me tell you, Sheng Dongqing is dead now, Zhuochuani is also dead. Your brother is going to be the new president. From now on, no one will hurt us. We can live freely and we don't have to hide away from home," Baiya said. Gu Lingqing lay there quietly. Her eyes turned red again. She shouldn't cry. At least he was still alive, which was a miracle to her. Baiya raised a gentle smile again. "It's okay. No matter where you are, I will be with you. When you are on the bed, I will be by your side. When you get up, I will accompany you everywhere. When you fall, I will fall with you. Do you remember when we first met? You told me that you would protect me. I can't protect you, but I can protect you," Baiya said with tears in her eyes. Many memories came to her mind. She was tied up, and he came to save her and send her home. She was caught by Su Jieran, and he drove a car to take her away. She was caught by Gu Tianhang, and one of her fingers was cut off. He also cut off his own finger to accompany her. Both of them were in danger. He saved her, but something happened to him. All of this had happened many years ago, but it was still vivid in her mind. Baiya took a breath and tried to calm herself down so that he would not worry. She said in a light tone, "Do you still remember the lake in the manor? We used to fish there. When you were not around, I often fished there and caught a lot of fish." Speaking of this, she thought of an Ing, Leng Shua, and their betrayal. Her mood became gloomy again. It was as if she had found someone to talk to. Her expression was no longer indifferent. She was very sad and aggrieved. She did not want to pretend these emotions in front of him. She lay on Gu Lingqing's body and sobbed. She wanted to use all her strength to call Gu Lingqing hysterically. However, he was shot in the back of his head. How could he get up with his willpower? Gu Lingqing would feel bad if he could not get up. She lay on his chest, tears streaming down her face, and said softly, "It's okay. You were too tired in the past. It's good to rest now. It's okay. I will stay with you." However, if she cried, he would also know that her so-called, "it's okay," was fake. She wanted to laugh. She laughed and looked at Gu Lingqing, who did not move at all, and cried again. She cried and laughed like a deranged lunatic. She was happy and sad at the same time. She still had a lot of things to say to him. However, she could not control her emotions now. Her mind was also very messy. She cried and cried. She was too tired, and her head was very heavy. She lay on Gu Lingqing's body and fell into a deep sleep. The doctor came in and saw that Baiya had fallen asleep. He reported to Xingbuhua. Xingbuhua walked in. The doctor also put a bed next to the ward. He gently carried Baiya and put her on the bed. He covered her with a quilt and looked at her deeply for a while. He made up his mind. He told the doctor, "She is pregnant. Buy some relevant equipment and give her better food. I will be leaving in a while. Report to me if anything happens." "Yes, Mr. Xing." Baiya woke up. She opened her eyes and looked at the white ceiling. The first person that came to her mind was Gu Lingqing. She sat up suddenly, worried that she had a dream. Seeing that Gu Lingqing was still lying on the bed, she breathed a sigh of relief. She looked at the time on her phone. It was 5 in the morning. She had slept for a long time. Her mood was much more stable than before. She got up and went to Gu Lingqing's side. The doctor came in and prepared to give Gu Lingqing glucose, amino acid and protein drugs. Baya glanced at their drugs and asked, "Do you have a kitchen here?" "Hello, everyone. I'm Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat." Chapter 722. "Yes, it's in the innermost room," the doctor replied. Baya walked out and went into the kitchen. Someone was making breakfast in the kitchen. She grabbed some rice and put it in the pot. Then she added a lot of water. "We've prepared your breakfast," the doctor said to Baya. "But you didn't prepare my husband's," Baya said with certainty. "Mr. Gu has glucose, amino acids, and protein every day. He has enough nutrition," the doctor explained. "His brain is injured, but his other organs function well. If he doesn't eat for a long time, his normal organ functions will atrophy," Baya said. She chopped the vegetables and carrots and put them in the pot. "Let me remind you that if he eats, he will have bowel movements," the doctor said. "I know. I'll do it. He's my husband. I'll take good care of him. Plus, I used to be a doctor." "Don't worry," Baya said firmly. The doctor didn't dare to refute her. He secretly went out and reported to Xingbuhua. "Let her do what she wants to do. You just need to cooperate," Xingbuhua ordered in a low voice. Baya was done cooking. Gu Lingqing hadn't eaten for a long time. He couldn't eat rice for the time being. He could only eat liquid food. He couldn't eat too much liquid food. Otherwise, his intestines wouldn't be able to adapt. She only fed Gu Lingqing a few spoonfuls. He didn't know how to swallow. She held his face and blew on him with her mouth to his mouth. His lips were cold too. After she blew on him, he only had a little warmth. Baya brought in hot water. She untied his clothes and helped him wash. She also cut his nails. When everything was done, it was already 8 o'clock in the morning. She also ate breakfast. During breakfast, she asked one of the doctors, "Do you have books here?" "Yes, we have a special library here. Mr. Xing was afraid that we would be bored, so he specially made it. We can also surf the internet in the library," the doctor replied. "Oh, by the way, can my husband wash his hair now?" Baya asked. "Yes," the doctor said. He smiled and said, "Now that you're here, we feel a lot less work." "I hope you can cure my husband," Baya blurted out. The atmosphere suddenly darkened, and Baya's eyes dimmed. Gu Lingqing was shot through the back of his head. It was already good enough that he could stay alive. She was forcing him. Now, she could only hope to find LV Bowie. After breakfast, Baya went to the library and chose a sci-fi novel. In this novel, humans could live for hundreds of thousands of years through hibernation. If there really was such a technology, she also wanted to sleep with Gu Lingqing and then wake up when the technology was developed in the future to cure Gu Lingqing. She didn't care about the times changing, and she didn't care how many years she had to wait. She only cared that she could be with him. That way, she could be like the great Master Guillemot said, smiling and watching the flowers fall. In the afternoon, she washed Gu Lingqing's hair. As the days passed, she wondered how things were going outside. There was no news of LV Bowie. Gu Lingqing could eat a little rice. She didn't want Gu Lingqing's organs and muscles to atrophy. Every day, she and the staff would carry Gu Lingqing and help him walk for an hour. Her baby was born. It was a son. Gu Lingqing still hadn't woken up. She didn't go out of the base. Usually, she would hold the baby, talk to him, talk to Gu Lingqing, cook, and read to the baby and Gu Lingqing. There were many doctors helping her take care of the baby. She liked to cook. After getting familiar with the doctors, she even cooked for them. Today, the baby didn't know why he kept crying. It made Baya feel uncomfortable, and she couldn't comfort him no matter how hard she tried. "Sister Baya, why don't you take Xiaobao out for a walk? Maybe it's too boring here," a doctor suggested. Baya thought for a while. It shouldn't be a problem for her to go out for a while. "Okay, I'll just go out for an hour. I'll stay on the lawn outside. I won't go far," Baya said to the doctor. A doctor went to consult Xingbuhua. Xingbuhua agreed. They arranged for a car to send Baya to the ground. Once on the ground, Xiaobao was attracted by the colorful world outside. He stopped crying, opened his eyes wide, and looked around. Baya put him on the ground. He was already 7 months old. He could sit and crawl, and he pulled the grass on the ground by himself. Baya was also afraid that he would catch a cold, so she let him play for 3 minutes before picking him up. The little guy was addicted to playing. He mumbled and wanted to hand it over. Baya took off her down jacket, spread it on the ground, and put Xiaobao's baby on her down jacket. Xiaobao continued to pull the grass on the ground. It was just a simple action, but he was having so much fun. Baya looked at the sky. The sky was especially blue today. The wind was blowing and it was a little cold. She should have brought clothes over. She was about to call the doctor. But the doctor called first. Madam, Mr. Gu has woken up, the doctor reported happily. Baya was stunned for a moment. She was so excited that her voice was trembling. Really? I'll send a car to pick you up now, the doctor said and hung up. Baya revealed an excited smile. She was speechless. She picked up the baby from the ground. Xiaobao, Daddy is awake. Your daddy is awake. The baby seemed to be infected by Baya's happiness. He waved his hands up and down, and kicked his legs happily. Wow, Xiaobao's daddy is awake. Wow, isn't it great? Baya said as she lifted Xiaobao up high. Xiaobao giggled. The car arrived in a short while. Baya wanted to get in the car. Xiaobao was unhappy again. Yes. Point outside. Xiaobao, be good. Daddy is awake. In the future, we can go everywhere to play. Just bear with it for a while, Baya said happily. It was unknown if the baby understood. He pursed his lips and looked at Baya with his eyes wide open. Baya almost sprinted to the ward. A bunch of doctors surrounded the bed to examine Gu Lingqing. Baya walked in with the baby in her arms. Gu Lingqing also saw Baya. He raised the corner of his mouth and said with difficulty, "Yeah." Baya carried the baby and walked to Gu Lingqing's side. She cried tears of joy. Gu Lingqing, you're finally awake. He. She was really happy. It was like a dream. Gu Lingqing's gaze slowly fell on Xiaobao's baby. This is our baby. You've been unconscious for a long time. He's already so big. I wanted to name him after you woke up. We haven't named him yet, Baya explained. Gu Lingqing's gaze fell on Baya's face again. He reached out his hand. Baya squatted down with the baby in her arms. He touched her face. She also felt that his palm finally had warmth. Chapter 723. Gu Lingqing sent a word. Gu Lingqing furrowed his brows. He was very anxious. Baya didn't understand what he said. She looked at him and studied his eyes. She also saw his anxiety and pain. She explained, many people who have been in a coma for too long will have their language skills deteriorate. What's more, they won't be able to recognize their family and will have a blank memory. Don't worry, let's take it slow. After hearing what Baya said, Gu Lingqing's expression softened. He looked at her deeply. The doctors gave them a look. They wanted Baya and Gu Lingqing to have a good chat, so they hugged Xiaobao's baby. You guys talk for a while. All the doctors left the room. Baya shook the bed and put a pillow behind Gu Lingqing. She remembered when they first met. He was hit by a clothes rack because he saved her, and she put the pillow for him like this. Don't worry. You've been in a coma for 1.5 years, so your legs and hands won't be very nimble. I'll accompany you to do fitness exercises. You'll be fine soon, Baya said with a smile and held his hand. I'm really happy that you can wake up. When you were in a coma, I talked to you every day. Could you hear me? Baya asked. I wrote to. He still couldn't speak clearly. He sighed and shook his head. Baya smiled. We're not in a hurry. Are you hungry now? Bao Bao has been crying in the morning, so I brought Bao Bao outside. There's a big field outside. It's winter now, but the grass here is still green. Bao Bao is lying on the ground and picking the grass. This is his first time out. He seems to like pulling grass. She didn't like to talk before, but now that Gu Lingqing had woken up, she had a lot to say to him. Gu Lingqing nodded. Does nodding mean you're hungry? Baya stood up. Gu Lingqing held her hand and pulled her to his side. He lowered his head and kissed her lips. Baya smiled. This was her Gu Lingqing. She was strong and domineering, but she also brought sunshine and sweetness to people's hearts. Gu Lingqing seemed to have thought of something and let go of her. Bai Ye kissed him on the lips. I'll brush your teeth every day. We have 2 sons now. Including Xiao Xian, we have 3. When you get better, we'll have a daughter, okay? Ao. Gu Lingqing made a sound. He guessed that he had said the word good. Take a break first. I read the book on the bedside table to you every day. You can read for a while. If you're tired, you can take a break. I'll go cook first. By the way, they might give you a full body checkup or something. Gu Lingqing could only nod again. Bai Ye got up and went out in a good mood. The doctor stood outside with the baby in his arms. Everyone was happy for Bai Ye. Please take care of the baby for a while. I'll go cook, Bai Ye said and went to the kitchen. She wanted to cook the first meal that Gu Lingqing ate after he woke up. Although she had been feeding Gu Lingqing juice made from various ingredients, he had just recovered from a serious illness, so he could only eat light food. She cooked noodles. The noodles were very soft, but she added chopped carrots, chopped vegetables, chopped black fungus, and chopped prawns into minced meat. She also prepared fried noodles with meat sauce for the doctors. When she was ready and went to find Gu Lingqing with the noodles, Gu Lingqing was not in the ward. Where's Gu Lingqing? Bai Ye asked the doctor. He went for a checkup. He went when you went to the kitchen to cook. He should be back soon. Bai Ye also wanted to ask the attending doctor about the specific situation. Was Gu Lingqing fully recovered? Was there no need to find the mysterious R&D team? It seemed difficult to find them. She put the bowl on the bedside table and went out to find the doctor. They were still examining Gu Lingqing. She didn't know why, but she felt depressed and worried. It had been so long. After waiting for 10 minutes, the door was opened. Bai Ye saw Gu Lingqing get up from the bed. Because his legs were not convenient, he was temporarily sitting in a wheelchair. She went in and pushed Gu Lingqing out. From the corner of her eyes, she saw that the doctors looked serious and were still studying the list. She didn't want Gu Lingqing to hear it, so she pushed him out first and said, I made rotten noodles for you today. It may be a little hard this week. You can't eat good food. After a week, you can slowly add meat. Gu Lingqing held her hand. Bai Ye stopped walking. As soon as he said it, it was not what he wanted to express. It's okay. Let's eat first. After eating, I can write for you. It's not a big deal. We can learn sign language together. Bai Ye comforted him. Gu Lingqing sighed again. Bai Ye pushed Gu Lingqing into the ward. The doctor was playing with Xiao Bao Bao in the ward. Xiao Bao Bao was sitting on Bai Ye's bed, drinking milk from a bottle. When he saw Bai Ye coming over, he stretched out his hands and asked Bai Ye to carry him. Bai Ye carried Xiao Bao Bao to Gu Lingqing and said to Xiao Bao Bao, Say daddy, daddy, daddy. 88888. Xiao Bao 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 babbled, showing 2 small front teeth, which was very cute. Gu Lingqing also showed a smile. It was a very faint smile, but the corner of his mouth was pulled up. Bai Ye looked at Gu Lingqing and smiled. This was her Gu Lingqing. Even a smile was rare, so when she smiled, it was especially beautiful. Baby, go to the bed and play for a while. Mummy will feed daddy, and I will accompany you to sleep after eating, Bai Ye said and put the baby on the bed. The doctor immediately went to coax him. Gu Lingqing pulled the tire to the bedside table. Bai Ye knew that he did not want to trouble her. She held his hand. There's no hurry. Today is your first day awake. There's always a process. After eating, I'll sleep with baby for a while. When I wake up, I'll accompany you to do your health exercises. We'll take it slow. Gu Lingqing looked at Bai Ye. The feeling of wanting to speak but not being able to do so was very uncomfortable. It made him feel inexplicably frustrated. Bai Ye read the anxiety in his eyes. She picked up the bowl and said with a smile, We've been through a lot. Now we're all alive and well. That's enough. Compared with death, everything is insignificant. In fact, even if you lie in bed in a coma every day, you won't be able to help me. In fact, even if you lie in bed unconscious every day, I will be very satisfied. I will live a very stable and fulfilling life by your side every day. Gu Lingqing, do you understand what I am saying? Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply and remained silent. Baya smiled. Look at how good we are now. I have you have me, and we have the baby. Gu Lingqing nodded. He was much calmer than before. However, his eyes contained too many words. Without saying a word, he could completely suck her in. When Baya was feeding, Xing Buhua appeared. When Gu Lingqing saw him, he was slightly shocked. He was puzzled and frowned. Chapter 724. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya in surprise. Ah, also broken. He still couldn't speak clearly. Baya guessed what he wanted to ask and replied, yes, your father expected that something bad might happen to him. On the day your mother gave birth to you, he asked his friend to take away your twin brother. Now that Sheng Dongcheng and Zhuchuani are dead, Baya looked at Xingbua. I became the president. I fulfilled our father's wish. You can put down the burden on your shoulders and be with your wife, brother. Xingbuhua continued Baya's words. Gu Lingqing looked at Xingbuhua deeply. Gu Lingqing and Xingbuhua were now together. Baya could tell the difference at a glance. Gu Lingqing's eyes were deeper. His temperament was cold and reserved. Xingbuhua was unfathomable. He was more unrestrained and liked to laugh. He looked ethereal. He was sometimes near and sometimes far away. It was hard to understand. Have you been in power for a year? Baya asked subconsciously. Xingbuhua knew that the reason why she asked this was about Shenyan. He shook his head. It's only been half a year. I might marry the daughter of the Xiang family in Country M. What do you think? No matter how I look at it, I can't change your mind. You should have made up your mind long ago. It's up to you. Some people's power is everything. Some people's love is everything. Some people's family is everything. Some people just want to live a simple and happy life. Some people want to live a grand life. Even if they die, they want to die a grand life. Baya understood. Xingbuhua was a man of his own ideas. He would not change his mind just because of what others thought. Moreover, once he had made up his mind, even if it was wrong, he would continue to follow it without hesitation. Yes, I plan to get married in May. Can you attend? Xingbuhua asked thoughtfully. That depends on you. Are you going to use the identity of Xingbuhua or continue to bear the double identity of Gu Lingqing? Baya asked. Xingbuhua, I've always been Xingbuhua. Now that Lingqing is awake, I don't have to lie to Mom anymore, Xingbuhua said with certainty. What he hated the most was being someone else's substitute. We'll see. I actually don't want to appear in the officialdom anymore. I just want to live a peaceful and happy life. In the future, you'll be fighting alone, Baya said in a low voice. Can you and Lingqing help me? We are a family, brothers of one heart. From his eyes and tone, Baya could tell that he hadn't been living a good life recently. Otherwise, he wouldn't have married the daughter of the Xiang family for power. She didn't reject him directly. After all, it was Xingbuhua who had been saving Gu Lingqing. We'll talk about this after Lingqing recovers. Have you eaten? Baya changed the topic and asked. No, I heard that Lingqing woke up, so I came here directly, Xingbuhua said. Wait a minute. After I feed Lingqing, I'll go to the kitchen and make a bowl of noodles for you. It'll be done in 15 minutes, Baya said. Let me feed him. Xingbuhua forcefully grabbed the bowl from Baya's hand. Baya paused. No matter what, Xingbuhua treated Gu Lingqing well. She turned and went to the kitchen to cook for Xingbuhua. She also wanted to ask the doctor about Gu Lingqing. She went to the kitchen to cook for Xingbuhua. She also wanted to ask the doctor about Gu Lingqing. What's wrong with Gu Lingqing? Baya asked directly. Her tone was a little serious. His basic abilities are fine. Everything is normal. The problem is still in his head. When the bullet passed through, it might have hurt the central speech nerve. In short, he can understand other people's words, but he can't organize his own language, the doctor reported. Are there any other problems? Not yet, the doctor said worriedly. Baya turned on the gas and boiled water. She was calmer than the doctor had imagined. He just can't speak. There are many ways to express himself, such as writing or using sign language. He knows a lot of sign language, But because he has just recovered, his fingers are not flexible and his central nervous system is injured. Can he be cured? I can't do anything, but LV Bowie was brain dead at that time. He was shot many times, but he was cured. I think that mysterious organization should be able to cure him, the doctor said. At least there's still hope. Let's do other health treatments first. Don't let Gu Lingqing know about this for the time being. By the way, does Xing Buhua know about this? Baiya asked. He knows about this. I reported it to him as soon as he arrived. Then why does she want us to help him? Baiya was puzzled. To be exact, she wants you to help him. Now the situation outside has changed dramatically. Many powerful people are popping up like mushrooms after the rain. It's hard to guard against them, but we can't punish them openly, the doctor sighed. Baiya had already guessed it. Xing Buhua just came to power. His foundation is not stable. Even Xin Yan, who inherited Xin Ao's position and had such a good foundation, used almost 3 years to stabilize the political situation. But he still lost to Xing Buhua. There are always talented people in every generation. Since ancient times, a new prime minister will replace the old one. Can't you help Mr. Xing? After all, he's Mr. Gu's twin brother. Everything here was specially built for Mr. Gu, the doctor asked. I don't want to get involved in politics anymore. You can call me selfish or self-deprecating. I know what I want to live. Besides, I gave him 1.2 billion. The expenses here should be less than 1.2 billion. So, I have a clear conscience. The doctor was speechless. I understand. We will try our best, the doctor promised. Thank you. Baiya continued to make lunch for Xing Buhua. In the ward. Gu Lingqing was not used to people feeding him, so he stopped eating. Xing Buhua looked at Gu Lingqing with a smile. You're very thin. Much thinner than me. Gu Lingqing closed his eyes, which was considered an answer to his question. Xing Buhua's smile became even brighter. I'm really different from you. Don't you know that I'm your brother? Gu Lingqing nodded. Xing Buhua was speechless. He could only laugh. After laughing, he took a deep breath and his expression became more serious. Before, because of you, I often dreamed of Baiya. At that time, Baiya and I didn't know each other yet, but she appeared in my dreams. Later, I went to investigate and found that many of the scenes in my dreams were real things that happened between you two. When you were unconscious, you dreamed of me and Baiya. When you were unconscious, you dreamed of me and Baiya? Xing Buhua asked doubtfully. Gu Lingqing looked at Xing Buhua sharply. He was deep in thought. His eyes were dark. Xing Buhua was a little nervous. At that time, he wanted something to happen between him and Baiya. Gu Lingqing nodded. You really dreamed of her? Xing Buhua was surprised. Chapter 725. Xing Buhua felt a little awkward as he explained, I thought that you were dead for sure. You went into shock a few times, and I was worried that she would choose death along with you. So I pretended to be you for a period of time. But don't worry, we didn't do anything like that. Gu Lingqing's expression did not change much. Xing Buhua laughed and patted Gu Lingqing's shoulder. I didn't know you were so cool, heh? Gu Lingqing said nothing. 88888. The baby suddenly shouted. Gu Lingqing looked at the baby. Xiao Bao's teeth were itching. He bit the bottom of the milk bottle. When he saw Gu Lingqing looking at him, he quickly waved his hands up and down and said loudly, 888888. The little guy is so cute. Can I hold him? Xing Buhua said. Without Gu Lingqing's consent, he carried Xiao Bao out. After Xiao Bao was carried out, he felt much more at ease. He widened his eyes and looked at Xing Buhua, then at Gu Lingqing, and then at Xing Buhua. Finally, he scratched Xing Buhua's face. Xing Buhua dodged and laughed. What a great boxer. He'll definitely be a martial arts champion in the future. Xiao Bao scratched Xing Buhua's face again, as if trying to grab something. Xing Buhua dodged again. He held Xiao Bao's chubby hand and kissed it several times. It was amazing. When this child was in his mother's womb, he still wanted to raise him as his own son. In the blink of an eye, he had grown so big. Baiya stepped into the ward and saw Xing Buhua carrying Xiao Bao's baby. She smiled and said, "Brother, the noodles are ready. It's on the dining table in the kitchen." "But I'll go eat now," Xing Buhua said with a smile. Baiya came over to carry Xiao Bao Bao. Xiao Bao Bao's mother usually took care of him. When he saw Baiya coming over, he stretched out his little hands to be carried by his mother. Baiya took the child and placed him on the bed. Xing Buhua went to the kitchen to eat. Baiya glanced at the noodles on the bedside table. She knew that Gu Lingqing would not allow Xing Buhua to feed him. "I'll heat it up for you." Baiya picked up the bowl. Gu Lingqing holds her wrist and looks at her deeply. Baiya looked into his eyes. She didn't know why, but she saw a trace of anger in his eyes. She tried to recall, but she didn't think that she had done anything wrong. Did Xing Buhua say something to him? She didn't feel sorry for Gu Lingqing. "What's wrong?" Baiya asked confusedly. Gu Lingqing pursed his lips and didn't say anything. He just wouldn't let her go. He looked at the bowl and shook his head. "You don't want to eat any more?" Baiya guessed. Gu Lingqing nodded. "Got it." Baiya put the bowl on the bedside table. She opened her hands and stretched them in front of Gu Lingqing. "Then I'll show you the finger exercises now. Follow me." She scratched her fingers. Gu Lingqing scratched his fingers as well. He was very familiar with it. Baiya was surprised. His body recovered much faster than the average person. Many people couldn't even scratch their fingers when they woke up after being in a coma for a year and a half. "Wait a minute." Baiya picked up her phone, opened the message window, and passed it to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing tapped on the key on the phone and quickly typed 3 words. "Thank you." Baiya smiled. "Although you can't speak for now, we can communicate through the phone or writing." "Oh yeah, you know a lot of sign language." "I can learn sign language. Whatever you want to say, I'll understand immediately. Don't be in a hurry to regain your ability to speak. Just practice slowly." Gu Lingqing lowered his head and wrote on the phone. "My speech center is probably damaged. That's why I can't make the sounds I want to make." Baiya looked at Gu Lingqing in surprise. She even specifically told the doctor not to tell him. In fact, he knew everything. "Don't worry. It's just that the speech center is damaged. There's a new technology developed overseas. It's called cellular nerve repair. It'll recover and you'll be able to speak in the future." Baiya comforted her. Gu Lingqing typed on the phone again. "No. If there was, you'd have found it long ago." "There is. It's just that the team is very secretive. We've been looking for them." "It's true. Trust me, I won't lie to you," Baiya said firmly. Gu Lingqing glanced at Baiya and simply typed 3 words on the phone. "I trust you." He was still concise and to the point. His resolute personality had not changed. In fact, he was very clear about life and death. Even if he guessed that his central nervous system might be damaged, he could still not frown. He was just worried that Baiya would be sad. He was also worried that Baiya would feel sad because he was sad. At the end of the day, they were the same kind of people. "Oh yeah, what are our babies' names?" "We have Xiao Xian and Xiao Yan." Baiya changed the topic. She hugged his arm and leaned on his shoulder, looking at the phone screen. "Shoshi, Gu Shoshi." Gu Lingqing finished typing. "I think this name is quite nice. Let's call it that." "What's the pet name?" "I've always called her baby, Xiao Bao or something like that." "I used Xiao Bao in exchange for Lu Shuang's child's pet name," Baiya said softly. "Both are fine." Gu Lingqing edited. "One day, when we have a gathering with Lu Shuang's team, she will call Xiao Bao and I will call Xiao Bao too. We won't be able to tell them apart. Let's just call him Shosho. What do you think?" Baiya asked. Gu Lingqing nodded. The corners of his lips curled up slightly. His smile was still very faint. When it was time to sleep, Shosho started crying. Baiya quickly picked him up. She hummed a song while patting Shosho's little butt. She paced around the ward. After a while, Shosho closed his eyes and fell asleep. Baiya gently placed Shosho on the bed and covered him with the blanket. Gu Lingqing kept looking at her. His eyes were filled with gentleness. He always knew that she was a good mother. Today, he saw it with his own eyes. It was more shocking than he imagined. She was so gentle and beautiful. After Baiya was done, She looked at Gu Lingqing. I'll push you to the health center now. You just woke up. You can't be too aggressive at the beginning. We'll take it slow for an hour. Gu Lingqing nodded and made a series of hand gestures. Bai Ye did not understand. He vaguely felt that it might have something to do with Shosho. Because Gu Lingqing's eyes were looking at Shosho. You don't have to worry. Shosho sleeps for a long time in the afternoon. Moreover, the medical staff will help us take care of him, Bai Ye said. Seeing that Gu Lingqing was relieved, she pushed Gu Lingqing out and into the health center. Previously, it was Bai Ye and the doctors who supported the unconscious Gu Lingqing to walk. Now Gu Lingqing could walk. He supported himself with his arms on both sides of the railing and walked forward slowly. His body functions were pretty good. It was just that he could not walk because he did not walk for a long time. After walking for 2 hours, Gu Lingqing stopped to rest. He wanted to continue walking. Bai Ye felt sorry for him. There's no hurry. You can practice tomorrow. Gu Lingqing shook his head. His eyes were firm. He supported himself with the railing and stood up again. I'm very sleepy. Gu Lingqing, stop practicing. Sleep with me for a while, okay? Bai Ye changed his way of expressing himself. Chapter 726. Bai Ye was happy to. He sat back in his wheelchair and Bai Ye pushed him back. Just as he pushed the door open, Shosho turned over and whimpered a few times, probably because of the noise. Bai Ye was worried about Shosho and went to pat him. When she turned around to help Gu Lingqing, he went to bed alone. Gu Lingqing was always like that. He took on everything but didn't want to burden others. She climbed onto Gu Lingqing's bed. His bed was only 1.5 meters by 2 meters. She curled up in his arms, but her heart was sweet. Today was the first day he woke up, but she felt as if he had never left. She was really tired today and her heart felt comfortable. She closed her eyes and fell asleep soon after. But she didn't sleep for long when she heard Shosho crying. She woke up immediately. Gu Lingqing opened his eyes too and saw Bai Ye carrying Shosho. After Shosho was carried, he was still crying. Bai Ye probably peed, so she quickly helped Shosho change into a new diaper and gave Shosho milk. Shosho saw the milk bottle and suddenly stopped crying. He held the bottle and sucked on the milk. Bai Ye looked at the time. He had only slept for half an hour. She looked at Gu Lingqing apologetically. I'm sorry I woke you up. Gu Lingqing shook his head and got up from the bed. Bai Ye immediately ran over to help him up. Gu Lingqing sat on the wheelchair and gestured for the phone. Bai Ye understood and immediately passed the phone to Gu Lingqing. I've slept for 1.5 years. I don't want to sleep anymore. I'm going to do some rehabilitation and we'll be back in an hour. I'll push you there, Bai Ye said. Just take care of Shosho. Gu Lingqing edited and returned the phone to Bai Ye. Bai Ye looked at his stubborn back and thought of the time when one of their eagle soldiers had both his legs broken. Most of these soldiers lived independently and strongly. Their willpower was dozens of times stronger than others. All she could do was respect him. There was a knock on the door. Come in. The doctor walked in. Madam, the president has instructed us to renovate this ward. Bai Ye didn't understand what Xingbuhua meant. The president said that since Mr. Gu has woken up, he doesn't need to sleep alone in the hospital bed, the doctor said with a smile. Bai Ye understood. Xingbuhua was really thoughtful. Where is he now? He left when you went for rehabilitation. He said not to disturb you, the doctor said. There were emotions in Bai Ye's eyes. Xingbuhua was a good brother. At least, he had been giving his all since he appeared. But she was a little heartless. Her and Gu Lingqing's safety was under his protection. But she only thought about the small world with Gu Lingqing. She felt guilty toward Xingbuhua. It was like a quarrel between family members. The other party was in the wrong and said something that hurt the other party. It seemed like she had won, but she was surrounded by guilt. Actually, only when she lost could she be magnanimous. It was okay to feel wronged. She just had to do her own thing. Guilt was another kind of uncomfortable emotion. Bai Ye called Xingbuhua. Xingbuhua answered and asked with a smile, "Is the room ready?" His tone was relaxed, as if he had forgotten that she had rejected him. He was still a calm and steady brother. Bai Ye's heart ached a little. Her voice softened. What did you want me to help you with? Ha. Xing Buhua smiled brightly. Help me take care of my brother and my nephew. The more he acted like this, the more guilty she felt. She asked in a different way, what difficulties did you encounter? It's all these messy things. The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. The higher the position, the more things need to be done, and the more complicated it is. I'm a little regretful. If Shen Yan was the president now, he would have done better than me without the internal and external troubles. But I have so many people supporting me, I have no way out. I just want to do more things that benefit the country and the people while I'm in power, so that I won't be the boss in vain, Xing Buhua said with a smile. Bai Ye's heart ached even more. She didn't want anything to happen to Xing Buhua. I used to know a master of ancient magic. His fortune-telling is very accurate, Bai Ye said. I believe that my fate is up to me. All right, I'm about to arrive at the President Palace. Take good care of Gu Lingqing. Although Lingqing has woken up, he still needs some time to recover. Be careful of Leng Shuo. If you can, take control of Leng Zhao's power. Otherwise, he will be the next Xing Dongqing, Bai Ye reminded him. Xing Buhua was stunned. Do you already know what he has done? I don't know what he has done, but there is no loyalty in his eyes. He only cares about his own power. He could betray Gu Lingqing yesterday. Tomorrow, he will betray you in order to go one step further, Bai Ye said coldly. Su Zheng has retired this year, and Zhuchuani has been brought to justice. There will be an election for the vice president next week. Leng Shuo came to me and wanted to be the vice president. I'm also troubled by this matter. Xing Buhua's voice became low. There's nothing to worry about. He will be promoted, but he will be demoted. It's a good thing for you if he becomes the vice president, Bai Ye said. That's what I was thinking too. That's why I need your help. Xing Buhua voiced out his thoughts. Bai Ye understood. Lingqing hasn't recovered yet, and we don't know if there will be any side effects. I have someone to recommend. Su Changhao. Although he is Su Zheng's son, he has a good character and doesn't have much ambition. Most importantly, his management ability and ability to handle matters are very strong, Bai Ye recommended. But will he be given too much power? Xing Buhua was worried and was weighing the pros and cons. This is an emergency plan, Bai Ye suggested. All right, we'll do as you say. There's another person, Su Jian. What do you think about me putting him in an important position? Xing Buhua asked. Chapter 727. It was just that they had passed, and she didn't want him to come back and be at the center of the storm and conflict. Only by starting a new life could he be happy. He's Xinyan's man. What do you think? Moreover, since he can leave and live a new life, just let him go. There will be many talents coming out anyway. Being at the top isn't about one's personal ability, it's about managing talents. The more he listened, the more he felt that Bai Ye was the best person to help him. But, for this position, he had sacrificed his marriage. There were many things that he would never be able to get in this lifetime. Today, when he saw Bai Ye's child, he suddenly had an idea. He could see their happiness in his dreams. Gu Lingqing was more like his doppelganger. He had already shouldered enough. Why should he let his doppelganger bear the burden with him? He wanted Gu Lingqing to be happy, the happier, the better. He wanted her to stay away from troubles, disasters, and misfortune. I understand. I'm hanging up now. Call me if anything happens, Xing Buhua said gently. Bai Ye still felt bitter, especially when she heard his voice that was exactly the same as Gu Lingqing's. Xing Buhua, I'm sorry. Xing Buhua laughed. You didn't do me wrong. You're just too kind. Even though you look cold, your heart is passionate. I shouldn't have used your kindness to do things that you don't want to do. I shouldn't have made you feel guilty after rejecting me. It's my fault. Don't mind it. You shouldn't have to bear all this. All right, you must be happy. That's all for now. Xing Buhua didn't continue the conversation with Bai Ye and hung up. Bai Ye kept her phone and looked up. Gu Lingqing appeared in front of her and looked at her deeply. Bai Ye smiled and walked over. Why are you back so soon? Gu Lingqing made a gesture. Baya didn't understand and felt a little apologetic. From today onwards, I'll learn sign language. I must keep up with your footsteps. I want to learn everything that you know so that you won't dislike me. She passed her phone to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing held her hand and pulled it down. Baya bent her body and looked into his deep eyes. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. In the end, he did not do anything. He let go of her, took her phone, and wrote a text message for her to see. The door is closed. Oh, I'll get them to open the door. Wait for me. Baya ran towards the doctor's office. Gu Lingqing lowered his head and unlocked her phone. When he saw the caller ID, his eyes darkened. In the darkness, he couldn't see his expression clearly. Baya came over with the key in a short while. Gu Lingqing turned his wheelchair to the door. There will be doctors coming over in a while. They are professionals and can guide you on the right way. I'll go and see Shosho later. I have other things to do. See you in an hour, Baya said softly. Gu Lingqing passed her the phone. He didn't say anything and went into the health room alone. Baya watched him walk past her but didn't look at her. Maybe it was because they were so familiar with each other that she could tell what Gu Lingqing was thinking with just one expression. So, when he acted like this, she felt a heavy feeling in her heart. She wanted to say something to comfort him, but she felt that he didn't need comfort. Gu Lingqing was very meticulous. She looked at Gu Lingqing and stood up by herself, pressing against the railing. He still didn't look at her, as if he was in his own world. She didn't want to burden him, so she turned around and went back to the ward. Some doctors were decorating her room, and some were coaxing Shosho. She was relieved that they were taking care of Shosho. She turned around and went out of the room to the library. She downloaded a lot of sign language books on the internet and found one in the library. She was very hardworking and attentive. She wanted to learn better as soon as possible. She wanted to let Gu Lingqing know that it didn't matter even if she couldn't speak. She would be his mouth and stay by his side for the rest of her life. He wouldn't be any different from before. 2 hours passed. She was a little hungry. Only then did she realize that it was already 5 o'clock. She hurried out of the library. A doctor ran over and said to Baya, "Go and talk to Mr. Gu. He has been training until now. This will cause his body to be overloaded." "I know," Baya said. She ran to the door of the health room. Gu Lingqing was still practicing, sweating profusely. Baya's heart ached for him. Her eyes were misty, but she wanted to smile. "You've been practicing for a long time. I'm going to the kitchen to cook now. Can you give me the time?" Baya walked in and said. Gu Lingqing looked at her. He panted heavily and nodded. The doctor was surprised. Sister Baya had a way. Her words were better than thousands of words from them. Baya pushed the wheelchair over. Gu Lingqing sat down. Baya squatted in front of him and gently wiped him dry. "I'll accompany you to take a bath after we've finished cooking. But I have stretch marks on my stomach. You can't laugh at me." Gu Lingqing looked at Baya deeply. He lowered his head and kissed her on the forehead. Baya felt a little better. She liked it when he kissed her. She smiled. "Let's go. I'll prepare grilled fish, carrots and vegetable porridge for you tonight. But you can only eat a little of the fish. I'll try to roast the oil off." Gu Lingqing made a gesture. After 2 hours of learning, Baya understood a little. "Is it delicious? You'll know after you eat it. You've just woken up. Let's take it slow. Under normal circumstances, you'll be able to eat normally after a week." Gu Lingqing held her hand and made another gesture. Baya didn't understand, but Gu Lingqing made a watching and learning gesture. She guessed that he was talking about her sign language. She explained. "I was learning sign language in the library just now. It's quite interesting. It's commonly used. Although I can't express it well, I understand a little. I'm not good at other things, but I'm good at learning. When I took the civil servant exam, I ranked first in the written exam." Gu Lingqing slightly raised the corner of his mouth. His smile was still very faint. He seemed to be thinking of some memories, and his gaze became distant. After a while, they went to the kitchen. As Baya was cooking dinner late today, the doctors had specially left time for them. So, they had prepared dinner for the doctors. "Sister Baya, we made dinner for you, but it doesn't seem to be as delicious as yours. We didn't make Mr. Gu's dinner, the doctor said with a smile. It's okay. You guys eat first. I'll eat later, Baya said gently. She opened the fridge and took out the codfish from the freezer. She took out the bacon, carrots, and tomatoes from the freezer. Gu Lingqing, can you do me a favor later? Gu Lingqing nodded. I'll need to trouble you to cut the carrots into small strips, Baya said. Chapter 728. He propped himself up from the wheelchair. Baya turned around to wash the carrots and took out the knife. Gu Lingqing looked at her back, his eyes dark and deep. Baya passed the knife and carrots to him. I'll have to trouble you with this. The doctors looked at each other and ate quickly, leaving Baya and Gu Lingqing alone. Sister Baya, leave Shosho to us. Don't worry. The last doctor who went out said. Thank you, Baya said with a smile. Suddenly she felt that it was better this way. Life was comfortable and fulfilling, and every day was sunny. She melted the codfish in the microwave first and made the tomato sauce herself. She suddenly remembered that Gu Lingqing couldn't speak. If she didn't speak, she would seem too cold. She was worried that Gu Lingqing would let his imagination run wild, so she specially thought of a joke and said, I saw a talk show before. It was very funny. He said that many parents brought Xiao Baobei out to play. They would hide on purpose, scare their baby, and then tell him that he shouldn't run around. If one day his Xiao Baobei also hid, then the adults would be anxious. Then, Xiao Baobei would imitate the adults and tell them not to run around in the future. Thinking about this scene, it's quite funny. Gu Lingqing answered the doctor. Baya's body trembled. Just hearing that word was enough to make her excited. She turned her head and looked at Gu Lingqing. He also smiled and said another word, She seemed to remember that when he first woke up, he also called her Ya. She was very touched, and her eyes felt wet again. Gu Lingqing gestured with his hands. Baya couldn't understand, so she passed the phone to him. I will definitely study hard in the future. Give me a month. Gu Lingqing took her phone and typed on it. Don't worry. I think I should be able to find the correct way to pronounce it. It might be a little difficult, but I will. Baya was happy. Yes, but it doesn't matter even if you can't speak. As long as you're alive, it's the best gift God has given me. Gu Lingqing closed his eyes. He put the phone on the table and continued to cut the carrot sticks. Baya boiled the ketchup and added some sugar and a little rice flour as a thickener. After she was done, she opened the frying pan, put a little oil in it, and fried the carrots inside. There are a lot of vitamins in the carrots, which are helpful for the body's recovery. The taste is very different when you fry them. Gu Lingqing nodded again. Baya smiled, turned to look at him, and said, I used to watch a movie called Guardians of the Galaxy. In it there was a tree man. He was kind, philanthropic, brave, and righteous. However, he only said one thing, I am Groot. No matter what he wanted to express, he only said one thing, I am Gu. Gu Lingqing also smiled slightly. Later, I watched another movie. It was an animated film. I think it was called 100,000 Corny Jokes. There was a dog. He also couldn't speak. His master put a shirt on him. He only knew 3 sentences, and one of them was Who am I, who am I, who am I? Once, they seemed to be looking for some treasure. Many people were looking for it. They all wanted to find it out of selfishness, and they were all trying to trick each other. This puppy is really something. He found it sneakily, but what's strange is that the key is actually a sentence. He doesn't know how to speak, so he's anxious to death. He can only follow the first sentence and call for others. I think it's funny seeing this. Gu Lingqing also smiled and made a gesture. This time, Baya understood. Okay, let's watch these movies together tonight. She continued to work on the carrots. When she was done, she wrapped the carrots in the bacon and fried them. She didn't roast too much. Gu Lingqing couldn't eat too much. She made 3 bacon rolls and placed them in front of Gu Lingqing. I'll make a little white rice for you later. You can only eat a little. But there's also codfish. This kind of fish has a lot of minerals. It's good for your body to eat some, but you can't eat too much today. Gu Lingqing nodded. Baya took out the codfish that she had prepared and covered it with tomato sauce. She placed a row of carrots on top of the codfish. Finally, she spread cheese on top of the carrots and placed it in the oven to roast. It only needed 5 minutes. The extra tomato sauce was added to the rice. It made the rice softer and absorbed all the tomato sauce. After the tomato rice was done, the codfish was done too. Baya took it out and placed it in front of Gu Lingqing. I know you don't like sweet things, but tomatoes are also good for your body. Gu Lingqing lowered her head and ate the rice. She didn't look like she didn't want to eat at all. Baya was happy too. She scooped the rice and ate with Gu Lingqing. Time was peaceful. The lights above their heads seemed especially gentle and fell on them. After dinner, Baya pushed Gu Lingqing to see Shosho. Before they entered the ward, they heard Shosho giggling because of the doctor's teasing. When they entered the room had already changed. The original sickbed was replaced by a 2-meter by 2-meter bed. Next to the big bed was a 1.6-meter by 1.8-meter bed. The small bed was separated by wooden boards to prevent Shosho from falling down. There were curtains around the bed. There was a television opposite and a long table next to it. Moreover, in addition to these, there was a 5-meter by 10-meter small amusement park at the furthest side. In the amusement park, there were caterpillars, plastic balls, slides, and swings. There were also jumping bears, small sports cars, and basketball hoop. At this time, Shosho was sitting in the amusement park and playing happily. Did Shosho drink milk? Baya asked. Sister Baya, don't worry. We're here, the doctor said. Okay, then I'll leave it to you. I want to watch a movie with Lingqing, Baya said with a smile. Go. Why don't Shosho sleep with us tonight? A doctor suggested. No need. You're too tired. Shosho has to come out to drink milk in the middle of the night. Baya didn't want to trouble others. We're not tired. Moreover, there are many of us. Sister Baya, you have to give us something to do. Otherwise, we'll be laid off, the doctor said. Baya thought for a while. Recently, she also wanted to learn sign language as soon as possible so that she could communicate with Gu Lingqing without any obstacles. Then I'll trouble you tonight. Not at all. It's my pleasure, the doctors said in unison. Baya nodded and pushed Gu Lingqing out to the library. It's all thanks to their care for the past year. If any one of them wants to leave, I don't think I'll be able to bear it, Baya said softly. In fact, since Gu Lingqing had woken up, there really wasn't a need for so many people to stay here. But she was already used to these people. If one of them left, she would feel lonely. Chapter 729. We can let them stay. Just give them something to do. For example, continue to study the brain. Not just my brain, Gu Lingqing suggested. Baya was enlightened. Why didn't I think of that? This is a good thing for the people. Xing Buhuo will probably agree. I'll tell him now, in case I forget tomorrow. Now that I have Shosho, my memory isn't as good as before. Okay, Gu Lingqing replied. There were some dark ripples in her eyes. However, Baya didn't see it. She called Xing Buhuo. It only took 3 rings before Xing Buhuo picked up the phone. He said softly, Xiao Ye, what's wrong? It's like this. Gu Lingqing has woken up. What are you going to do with the doctors here? Baya asked. I've been a little busy lately. I haven't decided whether they should stay or leave yet. What do you think? Xing Buhuo said as he scanned through the documents. It's like this. These are the experts you found. You can let them continue to do their research in the base. Maybe they will make some achievements and help improve medicine. Yes, but there's no hurry. Yes, but there's no rush. Currently, their mission is still Lingqing. I don't want anything to happen to Lingqing. I hope that he can be healthy and accompany you until you grow old. Don't worry, I won't dismiss your people for the time being. I can still afford to support them for a few years. She understood what Xing Buhuo meant. He was too busy. What she said was already a trivial matter. She shouldn't disturb him. You go ahead. I'll contact you if there's anything, Xing Buhuo said and hung up. Baya glanced at Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. There was no expression on her face. It was cold. Xingbuhua said that these people won't be dismissed for the time being. But he has a lot of things to do. We'll talk about the brain research later. Their mission is to take care of you and ensure your safety, Baya explained to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything. He just looked ahead. Baya pushed Gu Lingqing to the imaging room next to the library. They could watch movies there, and the seats were also sofas. When she went to choose a movie, Gu Lingqing sat on the sofa from his wheelchair. Baya chose South, a popular movie that was shown when he was unconscious. She had seen this movie before. It was mainly about the 60s. There was a village of people who walked out of the mountains to work in the big city. After experiencing hard work, misfortune, and cruel reality, some returned home to farm, some went to jail, some contracted viruses, some got married, and some still hung around in KTV and other entertainment places. Some became old ladies, while others succeeded in starting their own businesses. A nostalgic and realistic movie. There were a few contrasting plots. Little Red was the village's beauty. Little Fong looked ordinary, but she was hardworking and hardworking. Little Ming was very handsome, and he was Little Red's boyfriend. Little Wang looked ugly, and he also liked Little Red. But in the end, Little Red went to KTV and not only contracted the virus, but also became an old lady. She looked down on Little Wang, but Little Wang was her frequent customer. Little Fong originally wanted to be with Little Wang, but after knowing about Little Wang and Little Red, she left Little Wang, married a man in the city, and lived a plain, warm, and happy life. And Little Ming, under the wasted time, financial pressure, and emotional betrayal, twisted his originally good life and became a swindler. This was a film worth pondering over. Baya leaned her head on Gu Lingqing's shoulder. Gu Lingqing also held her hand. When watching a movie alone, it was fun, and when two people watched it, it was the atmosphere. It was just that it was so quiet, and when she was with Gu Lingqing, she felt that her heart was very calm, and very comfortable. The movie lasted for half an hour, and when it ended, it was almost 10 o'clock. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing, and Gu Lingqing also looked at her. The two of them looked at each other, not saying a word, and there was a subtle feeling between the two of them. She felt sweet in her heart as well. It was so good to be looked at by him, so good that it could let her forget all the misfortune, sadness, confusion, and suffering in the past. Do you know how happy I am? Baya smiled, smiling like an innocent child. I'm so glad that we have a large group of people who care about us, so I can wait for you until now. Gu Lingqing stroked her head, and with a hand gesture, he said, I'm sorry. Baya shook her head, and her eyes became misty. You're not sorry. Humans can't fight against the heavens, and not everyone is invincible. Perhaps, this is the life that we have to experience. There are many things that we can't accept, and even the strongest person will disappear, and the spiritual pillar that we rely on will collapse. Fortunately, I didn't give up. As long as we persevere and move forward, there will always be a miracle, right? As Baya said that, she cried. The life of thinking that he was dead was too difficult. Every day, she was in the midst of suffering, and the torture in her heart could cause her entire spirit to collapse. She doubted herself. Why did she want to live, and what was the purpose of living? Perhaps, now, she had the answer. Only by living, there would be miracles, and only by living, there would be hope. I won't commit suicide in the future, no matter what happens, Baya promised. Gu Lingqing smiled. The moment he saw her smile, she then understood that she was living because he wanted her to do so. She threw herself into Gu Lingqing's arms. You too, you must live. No matter what difficulties we encounter, we must be strong and optimistic. Gu Lingqing replied. She believed, and she always knew that no matter what Gu Lingqing did, he would do it better than her. She hugged him for a while, and suddenly thought of something. Let's take a bath first, you've sweated a lot today. She wanted to take a bath after dinner, but she didn't know why, but she forgot. Gu Lingqing nodded. There's a place to take a bath in your ward, and the bathtub is quite big. When you were unconscious, I would occasionally ask them to help you take a bath to improve your blood circulation. Usually, it would be like this for 10 to 15 minutes, Baya explained. Thank you for your hard work. He used a hand gesture to say the last sentence, and Baya understood it. Let's go, at this time, Shosho should be asleep. Baya pushed Gu Lingqing back to the ward. There was no one in the room, and there was a note on the table. It was written by the doctor. Sister Baya, we're taking Shosho away, see you tomorrow. The corners of Baya's lips curled up slightly. She had a group of cute people around her. She went to the cabinet and found a set of Gu Lingqing's clothes and nagged, previously, you only had a patient's uniform, and I thought it was ugly, so I specially asked Xing Buhua to send your clothes from home, and also asked someone to make a few sets of pure cotton clothes for you. I have a set of clothes with you, and Shosho also has one. Next time, we can wear it together and go out to play as a family of 3. Gu Lingqing watched as Baya took out the clothes. She walked towards him with the clothes, bent down, and looked at his eyes. Looking at me like this, is it clearer? Chapter 730. Baya placed the clothes on his lap and unbuttoned his shirt. Her movements were very skillful. After all, she had always been the one taking care of him. All of a sudden, Gu Lingqing held her hand. He undressed himself and was only left with his undershirt. Pants, let me help you. We're husband and wife, right? Baya squatted in front of Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing made a gesture, indicating that he would do it. She really wanted to help him, but Gu Lingqing was actually very stubborn. She knew that he didn't want to trouble her. The only thing she could do was to do what he wanted. She took the clothes on his lap. I'll wait for you in the bathroom. She turned on the faucet, adjusted the water temperature, and took off her clothes. She washed her clothes and even washed her hair. When she was done, Gu Lingqing still hadn't come in. She wrapped a towel around herself and opened the bathroom door. Gu Lingqing stood behind the cart. His undershirt was already soaked with sweat. It was a simple action, but it took him a lot of effort. Baya wanted to cry. Her eyes were red and she smiled. I've filled the water and washed my hair. Come in. Gu Lingqing replied. She was afraid that he would fall, but she couldn't bear to see it. The only thing she could do was to look at him. Lingqing, I want to help you, Baya said softly. Her voice was sweet, but it was pleading. Gu Lingqing's face was expressionless. He only replied, Baya quickly went to help him. When she touched his body, she realized that he was trembling badly and his body was wet. He probably couldn't take it anymore, which was why he agreed to let her help. Her heart ached. She tried her best to help him to the bathroom. Gu Lingqing pressed on the bathtub and entered it. His breathing was a little heavier. Baya squatted down in front of the bathtub. Lingqing, it's okay. This is because you've been bedridden for a long time. You'll recover in a year at most. I promise, we're not in a hurry. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya's worried eyes and touched her head. Baya smiled. I'll get you a towel. Gu Lingqing pointed at the clothes and motioned her to put them on. He was worried that she would catch a cold. What she was thinking was that she would have to help him get up later and her clothes would get wet, so she might as well not put them on first. She would wait for him to put on his clothes and get on the bed before she put them on. I want to bathe with you for a while longer, Baya said softly. She was already a mother of 2 children. Speaking of this, she blushed. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply and said nothing. Baya handed him the towel and untied the towel around her body. She was still very skinny and didn't have any excess fat on her body. Although there were some stretch marks on her abdomen, she looked even sexier, like a blooming flower. Moreover, because she had been taking care of him for a long time and taking care of the children, she had actually developed mermaid lines. Her figure was even better than before. She was embarrassed to stand in front of him naked and quickly entered the bathtub. The bathtub was very big and it was big enough for the 2 of them. Gu Lingqing looked at her with a burning gaze. Her face turned even redder. At that time, Xing Buhua had also looked at her like that. But other than repulsion and fear, she didn't feel anything else. But Gu Lingqing's gaze was different. She would feel uneasy, her heart would beat faster, she would be at a loss, and she would even be shy. Why are you looking at me like that? Baya said softly. He lifted her chin and his lips moved closer to hers. She didn't hide. This was the man she loved. She could give him everything she had. She closed her eyes and accepted his kiss. His kiss was still domineering, but there was gentleness in it. He would suck hard, but at a certain point, it would become very gentle. From gentle to forceful, he kissed for about 5 minutes. Suddenly, he let go of her and frowned slightly. What's wrong? Baya didn't understand. She didn't do anything. She was just cooperating with his kiss. Gu Lingqing's expression wasn't very natural. He looked at her lips and held her hand, pressing it on his abdomen. He was using his actions to tell her what was wrong with him. Baya. She also didn't expect that Gu Lingqing would be a normal man not long after he woke up. The doctor said that all his functions were normal. Thinking about it, it was normal. Well, I saw a report previously about a man who became a vegetable after being hit by a car. He only woke up a year later and his legs couldn't move anymore. Then, his wife took the initiative to have sex with him. It seemed that it was also a kind of treatment that could promote the waist and abdomen movement. Baya was already very embarrassed when she said this. But they were husband and wife, so it didn't matter if they said this. She continued to say, "You just woke up today, so I think it should be fine. But, considering that your intake of protein was too low previously, let's do another checkup tomorrow. I also have to ask the doctor if it's okay. It's better to be safe." Gu Lingqing replied and let go of her hand. Baya guessed that if she stayed in the same bathroom with him, it would be even more difficult for him to hold it in. "I'll come out first. I'll bring a chair in for you later." Gu Lingqing nodded. Baya went out with a bath towel around her. She brought a chair in and washed it with water. Gu Lingqing also came out of the bathtub. She looked at him, and there was still no sign of him stopping. Her face blushed all the way to her ears. She took a bath towel from the rack and handed it to him. She also handed his clothes to him. Gu Lingqing put on his own clothes. She put on her own clothes too. The atmosphere was very strange, but the temperature was rising. Speaking of which, it was normal. In fact, they should have not had sex for more than a year. Baya got dressed first. She pushed the wheelchair in. "Well, I'm going out for a while." Gu Lingqing nodded. She wanted to wait until tomorrow to say it, but they still had to sleep together tonight. It wouldn't be good for him to keep holding it in. It was more reliable for her to ask. Baya came to the on-call room. "Sister Baya." The doctor in the on-call room immediately stood up. "Well, I want to ask about his physical examination today. Other than some problems with his speech nerve center, is everything all right? For example, protein, stem cells, and so on." Baya asked. "Actually, all his physiological functions are normal. There are still many things that need to be observed. After all, it's his head that's injured. Even if many places are broken, there won't be any problems," the doctor said. Baya wanted to say something but stopped. She was embarrassed to say it. "What?" the doctor asked. Anyway, even if she didn't ask today, she would ask tomorrow. "If there is a need in that area, is it okay? Will it affect him?" Baya asked directly. Chapter 731. Will it be bad for his body? After all, he just woke up, Baya said softly. "Prepare a glass of milk. Milk can not only increase his body's resistance, but it can also promote sleep. There's milk in the fridge. It was delivered today. My colleague will go out tomorrow to buy some milk powder for adults." "Oh, I understand. Thank you, doctor," Baya said. The doctor smiled. "Sister Baya, do you need any birth control products? The pharmacy has them now." Baya felt awkward. She cleared her throat and nodded. "Follow me." The doctor walked in front. Baya followed behind him embarrassedly. They went to the pharmacy. He took a few boxes of birth control products and 2 boxes of chewable tablets for Baya. These are health supplements. They can supplement calcium and vitamins. Baya took them all. "Don't tell anyone else." Okay." The doctor was happy. Baya turned around and went back to the room. Gu Lingqing was already resting. It was quiet. She closed the door, locked it, and lay down beside Gu Lingqing. She put the things under the pillow and glanced at Gu Lingqing. It seemed to have disappeared. That's good. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Then good night, Baya said and turned off the lights. Gu Lingqing turned over and hugged her. Baya did not move, quietly listening to his heartbeat, thump thump thump. She hugged his hand. Tomorrow, I want to push you out for a walk. There are grass and trees around here. Although it's winter, many leaves are still green. I think there might be small animals in the forest. I'll make a trap, okay? Gao Gu Lingqing took a deep breath. There's no rush. We can take it slow. We just need to improve a little every day, Baya said with a smile and looked back at him. Okay. Gu Lingqing finally said the right word. Baya smiled happily. He smiled too. The way he looked at her became more and more mesmerizing, as if he had absorbed the stars. He took out his phone and wrote a text message, showing it to her. The doctor said it's okay. I saw what you hid under the pillow. Baya blushed. The doctor said it's okay, as long as you drink a glass of milk or something before bed. As soon as she finished speaking, Gu Lingqing kissed her lips and closed his eyes. His familiar scent landed on her face. It was still cool and had the scent of toothpaste. Strong, dense, overwhelming, and dizzying, as if it could suck people into his world. Just like how he used to be, it was a feeling she was most familiar with. Baya kissed him back. He took her tongue and sucked hard. Baya groaned. He let go of her and looked at her with a burning gaze. He held her hand and pressed it on his abdomen, expressing his thoughts. Baya looked at her reflection in his eyes and asked embarrassedly, now? Gu Lingqing replied, his eyes bright. Her eyes were fixed, and she took out the contraceptive products from the pillow. The doctor said that you will be taking the medicine tomorrow, so you can't have children for the time being. She opened the package and took out one. She was skilled at cleaning him, but she was not good at doing this kind of thing. But based on his physical condition, she needed to take the initiative. Because she hadn't done it for a long time, it hurt a little, but she endured it. It was okay, this was the person she loved. Soon the pain was gone. She bit her lip. He hugged her waist and kissed the sweat on her face. Baya's breathing became heavier and heavier. She opened her mouth and breathed. He kissed her on the lips, giving her some strength. In the past, he was the one who took the initiative and led the way. He didn't need her to say anything. She just needed to rely on him. But love was about protecting each other. Blindly demanding would make the other party too tired. Fortunately, in the past year, she had to work out so that she would have more strength to take care of him and the child. So, even if she took the initiative, it was okay, unlike in the past when she had to rely on him. Gradually, the feeling became stronger. She hugged the back of Gu Lingqing, leaned on his shoulder, and couldn't help but moan. Gu Lingqing kissed her shoulder too. She rested for a minute and felt quite embarrassed. He hadn't, and her face was as red as a peach. He was very gentle, not anxious or impatient. Looking into his eyes, she felt her heart was filled with sweetness, and took the initiative to kiss him. Time passed by in the waves, leading to a beautiful place. After that, they didn't take a shower. They snuggled up to each other and fell asleep. In the past, every day at 6:00 in the morning, the doctor would come to check on Gu Lingqing. Shosho would eat milk powder a few times in the middle of the night and cry a few times. Every time she woke up in the middle of the night, she couldn't fall asleep. She would sit by his bed and quietly accompany him. Last night was the best sleep she had since she came to the base for a long time. The doctors didn't come to check on Gu Lingqing early in the morning, and Shosho was also taken care of by the doctors. After a good sleep, the whole person was very energetic. She opened her eyes and saw Gu Lingqing, and a smile appeared on her face. Gu Lingqing seemed to sense it. He also opened his eyes, looked at her, and kissed Baya's face. I'll get up first and make breakfast for you later. It will take about half an hour. If you feel bored, you can go and see Shosho, Baya said. Baya got up first. She didn't take a shower yesterday, so she cleaned up in the bathroom. She went to the kitchen to make breakfast for Gu Lingqing. As soon as she opened the door, she met the doctor who was walking over. Do you still have to check on Gu Lingqing in the morning? Baya asked. Yes, but there's no hurry. We'll do it for him when he's free. Okay, Did the person who bought it go out today? Yes, he did. He should have bought almost everything by now. Well, I want a mobile phone for Gu Lingqing. I'll give him the money. The mobile phone is already in our purchase list. Don't worry, Baya. We will buy a lot more that you won't expect. By the way, there's one more thing. We are communicating with the Americans. They are researching a new technology. Simply put, it's converting brain waves into a voice recorder. I'll send the video to your email later, and you'll be able to see it then. Baya had seen this research on the news a year ago. It was specially used for people in a vegetative state, paralyzed people, and people who couldn't speak because their speech centers were disrupted. The good thing was that there might really be an immediate effect, and they could express themselves freely. The bad thing was that the fluency of speech was not good. Also, there were a lot of wires on the head, and it was too ugly. Most importantly, if the vocal cords were not used, they would be useless. This matter is not urgent. We can slowly contact them. Thank you, but I think Lingqing's speech center can be restored. I've seen LV Bowie in person. When Lingqing can walk, I'll go out with him to find it. Baya rejected tactfully. Chapter 732. Alright, we'll look for it here too. Oh yeah, Sister Baya, you haven't had breakfast yet, right? We've made chicken porridge. Mr. Gu should be able to eat it too, the doctor said with a smile. It seems like I'm a little late to make breakfast now. Thank you. It's my pleasure, the doctor said. Baya went to the kitchen to make 2 poached eggs and 2 bowls of chicken porridge. She gave Gu Lingqing grilled fish yesterday and he didn't have any gastrointestinal discomfort. She could get some eels for Gu Lingqing to eat today. She called the doctor again. Can you get someone to buy some wild eels, pigeons, turtles, and the like? Yes, these are all on the menu too. Baya was really grateful to the doctors. They thought about it more carefully than she did. Thank you, Baya said, feeling touched. After hanging up the phone, she brought breakfast back to the room. Gu Lingqing was taking a shower alone in the bathroom. It would take him a long time to come out. She was worried that the breakfast would be cold and not good for his stomach, so she went back to the kitchen and poured the porridge into the pot. She went to see Shosho. Shosho was having fun with the doctors. He grabbed the ball and passed it to the doctor. The doctor dropped the ball. He crawled over nimbly, picked it up and passed it to the doctor. When he saw Baya, he stopped playing and reached out for a hug. Baya's heart softened. She hugged Shosho. Good boy, Shosho. Mommy will take you out to play later. Sister Baya, you're going out later? With Mr. Gu? A doctor asked. Yeah, I want to go out for a walk. It's not far, just on the lawn. I saw a forest over there. There might be pheasants or something. I want to try my luck, Baya said with a smile. Sure, we'll go out with you later. We can bring Shosho along and set up a few tents in the forest, the doctor said. Will this place be exposed? The tent is too obvious. Baya was worried. It doesn't matter. This place was kept secret because it would be too dangerous for Mr. Gu to be discovered by Xing Shang. Xing Shang had ordered the president to kill Mr. Gu several times before. Now that Xing Shang is gone, and no one can threaten Mr. Gu's safety, it's fine even if he builds a hut in the woods. The doctor suggested. That's really not bad. We can go out to get some fresh air. We can also plant some fresh vegetables and fruits on the ground and raise chickens and ducks. Moreover, it won't affect our health and rest. Baya was delighted. It's like this. That's great. Shosho, you can play with Uncle and Auntie for a while. I'll talk to your father and we can go out to play after we pack up. Baya said to Shosho. Xiao Baobao didn't really understand Baya's words. He just wanted to follow Baya, so he kept sticking to Baya and babbled, unwilling to let go. The medical staff next to them used toys to attract him, especially those that could make strange sounds. Xiao Baobao was full of curiosity about this world. When he heard strange sounds and saw strange things, he would open his eyes wide and be filled with the desire to know. Baya conveniently put Shosho down. Shosho climbed to take the small loudspeaker in the doctor's hand. Baya showed a kind smile and slowly turned around. She went to the kitchen and brought breakfast back to the room. Gu Lingqing came out of the bathroom, washed his hair, and changed into clean clothes. His figure was valiant, heroic, and handsome. Come and have breakfast. The doctors made it. I have something to tell you later. Baya put down the porridge and went to help Gu Lingqing with a smile. Okay. There is a small grassland above, and there is a large forest around it. They said to make a house for us. We can rest outside when we want. It won't affect your health. We'll still sleep here. Gu Lingqing saw that she was happy and didn't object. After he sat down, he gestured with his hands. Baya looked at it seriously and guessed, You said that you need 4 hours to do the reconstruction? Yes, I'll tell the doctor and ask them to make a more reasonable plan. Let's combine diet, rest, and reconstruction. I can cooperate with you at my time. Gu Lingqing's eyes flashed with darkness. He didn't say anything and nodded. After breakfast, because there were 4 doctors going with them, they prepared a lot of things. When they left the base, the fresh air that blew against their faces was a little cold. However, this little bit of coolness was nothing to people with a warm heart. They felt relaxed and happy. When Shosho went outside, he was extremely happy. His 2 small hands waved and his mouth made a sound of 88888. Gu Lingqing looked at Shosho, and there was a warm smile in his eyes. Someone set up a simple tent first and added quilts, blankets, and toys in the tent. Baya put Shosho in the tent. Shosho immediately lay on the ground and continued to dig the grass. They also set up a very big tent, 1 room and 1 living room. There was still a lawn under the living room, mainly used to shelter them from the wind. They put a folding round table and 6 chairs in the living room. A small folding table was placed with the ingredients for today's barbecue, and 2 stoves were prepared. The room was also covered with thick cotton wool and bedding. If Baya and the others wanted to rest later, they could sleep directly. When it was done, it was already time for lunch. Shosho drank his milk and continued to play with the grass in the tent. After playing for a while, he stuffed it into his mouth. The doctor quickly stopped him and gave him a bite stick. He looked at him without blinking, afraid that he would eat grass again. Baya and the others prepared the ingredients together. When the ingredients were ready, someone barbecued them. Baya had a late breakfast and was not hungry. She went out to look for Gu Lingqing. He sat under the tree and focused on doing something. He looked like a noble son in ancient times, cool and elegant. She walked over. He was making sounds in a low voice. When he saw Baya, he smiled and asked, Are you tired? Baya smiled. 1 sentence a day. After 2 months, I think I can talk a lot. Gu Lingqing nodded. It's time for lunch. They're barbecuing. Your stomach might not be used to it now. I'll cook something for you later, okay? Baya pushed him over. The doctors gathered together. Someone was carrying Shosho. When Shosho saw Baya, he wanted to be carried by Baya. Baya took Shosho. Sister Baya, tell us about your love story with Mr. Gu, a doctor asked. Baya and Gu Lingqing were low-key and introverted people who were not good with words, especially in front of so many people. She felt embarrassed, but if she didn't say it, it would ruin their interest. She said simply, After we met, there was a period of time when his memory was blank. I didn't know that he liked me, so I went to America and studied psychology. Later, I needed to deal with a case in the military, so I got in touch with him. After that, he recovered his memory, and we've been together ever since. After Baya said that, the doctors did not speak for a minute. A male doctor said, It sounds very normal. Baya smiled too. Gu Lingqing held her hand. The 2 of them looked at each other as if they had been in the past for thousands of years. Chapter 733. Sister Baya, I have a question. Is your little finger really like this? A female doctor asked. Baya looked at her broken little finger, then looked at Gu Lingqing's broken little finger. Her eyes were a little misty. When I was kidnapped that year, one of my fingers was cut off. He also cut off his to accompany me. How romantic, the girl said enviously. Baya twitched the corner of her mouth. The romance in the eyes of outsiders was cruel, sad, and painful for them. Let's not talk about us. Lingqing wants to do rehabilitation for 4 hours a day. Do you have any good suggestions or reasonable arrangements? The doctor thought for a while and said, 3.5 hours. Arrange the rehabilitation for 1.5 hours in the morning. That way, he can exercise his muscles and bones. 2 hours at night. It's good for him to sleep. Is that okay? Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing nodded. That's good too. After you're done in the morning, we can go out for lunch and dinner outside. We can go back after eating, Baya said to Gu Lingqing. After she finished speaking, she looked at the doctors. Then you guys eat first. I'll go make Lingqing's meal. Okay, Sister Baya, let me carry Shosho. The doctor immediately went to carry Shosho. Someone was responsible for attracting Shosho's attention. Baya made a simple eel soup. She scooped up the eel, put the rice and minced meat into the soup and cooked it. When it was almost done, she stirred it to prevent it from sticking to the pot. When it was almost done, she added salt and chopped vegetables. She stirred it until it was all done. It smells so good. I want to eat it just by looking at it, a doctor said. I cooked a big pot. Everyone has a share. Wait a moment, I'll braise the eel. It'll taste better, Baya said with a smile. She scooped a bowl for Gu Lingqing and put in 5 pieces of boiled eel. She brought it to Gu Lingqing. Wow, so happy, a doctor exclaimed. Gu Lingqing also raised the corner of her mouth slightly, lowering her head to eat Baya's cooking. I feel that Mr. Gu is always so cool but so warm, a doctor praised. Gu Lingqing was the kind of person who was indifferent to other people's praises. Baya smiled and went to cook for the other doctors. Shosho stared at Gu Lingqing's bowl and swallowed his saliva. His mouth was also moving, which made the doctors laugh. Gu Lingqing looked at him. Realizing that he had been discovered, he waved his little arms and laughed as he shouted, 88888888, as if he was teasing Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing was also attracted by its cuteness. She reached out and put it on her lap. Shosho burrowed into Gu Lingqing's arms. Yo, our Shosho is so smart. You know how to stick to your daddy, little guy. A doctor pinched Shosho's soft face. Shosho stayed in Gu Lingqing's arms adorably. Gu Lingqing held such a meatball in his arms. His heart was also very soft. He showed a fatherly smile, which made the 2 female doctors stare at him. However, they didn't have any improper thoughts. They just thought that Gu Lingqing was good-looking. Mr. Gu and President Xing are twins. Although they look exactly the same, their personalities are worlds apart, a doctor sighed. Gu Lingqing put away his smile and looked at Baya meaningfully. His eyes were deep, as if there was a lot of content, but at the same time, people couldn't see more content. Baya noticed Gu Lingqing's gaze. She looked at him and smiled. Gu Lingqing lowered his head and looked at Shosho. Shosho started to eat his fingers and sucked. Gu Lingqing moved his hand away. He glanced at Gu Lingqing and put his fingers in his mouth again. Gu Lingqing moved his hand away again. Shosho pursed his lips. There were tears in his eyes. He was about to cry. When the doctor saw that, he immediately stuffed a pacifier into Shosho's mouth. Shosho, don't cry. Eat a pacifier, your fingers are dirty. Shosho stopped crying. He looked at the doctor and reached out for a hug. The doctor looked at Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing nodded, his face as cold as ice. The doctor carried Shosho away. He lowered his head and ate. Baya also finished preparing the eels. Everyone, come over and eat. She scooped a bowl for herself and sat next to Gu Lingqing. Children will naturally get close to those who spoil them, go along with them, and treat them well. Those who are strict, fierce, and don't go according to their wishes, they will reject them. Gu Lingqing made a gesture. What do you think the right thing to do? Many adults will say, I don't allow you to do this, I don't allow you to do that, you're not good this way, you're not good that way. Actually, children are still young. They don't understand why it's not good. Even if they obey on the surface, there will still be objections in their hearts. Even if some parents are eloquent, some children will still misunderstand. At this time, the right thing to do is to divert the child's interest and thoughts. For example, if their fingers are not good or dirty, just give them a pacifier. You'll solve the problem and he'll still like you, Baya said patiently. Gu Lingqing nodded and gave her a thumbs up. He was a failure in managing children. Just like what Baiya said, he was not allowed to do this, not allowed to do that. He was a strict father, so Xiao Yan never liked him. If Baiya was by his side, she would definitely take good care of the child. After the meal, Shosho habitually wanted to sleep. Baiya was afraid that he would catch a cold outside, so she brought Shosho back to the base to sleep. Gu Lingqing went to the health center for rehabilitation. Shosho fell asleep. Baiya went to the library to read and learn sign language. Days passed by one after another. Each day was peaceful and fulfilling. Gu Lingqing's body recovered day by day. After a month, he no longer needed a wheelchair. After 2 months, he could walk normally. He could also make simple pronunciations. This was simply a miracle for a person with a problem with the language center. As for Baiya, other than taking care of Shosho and cooking well, she also mastered sign language. One day, after breakfast, Gu Lingqing said to Baiya, "I want to leave." Baiya paused. "Where?" Gu Lingqing held her hand. "Traveling." "But what if something happens to your body? It's only been 2 months since you woke up. Also, the doctors think that you should be observed." Baiya was worried. She didn't want to bear any accidents. "Look for him." Gu Lingqing wrote his name on the table, LV Bowie. Baiya thought about it and agreed. If they wanted to completely cure Gu Lingqing, they had to find LV Bowie first. Otherwise, Gu Lingqing's body would be like a time bomb that could explode at any time. "Okay, I'll listen to you. We'll look for LV Bowie while traveling. Can we bring Shosho with us?" Baiya couldn't bear to leave her child. Gu Lingqing nodded. She called Xingbua. "Brother, I'm Bai. I know. I have your caller ID." Chapter 734. Bring Xiaoxia along. She's good at taking care of children and Shosho is close to her. If anything happens to Lingqing, she can handle it immediately. "That's good too. I can be more at ease." Baiya agreed readily. "You don't have to worry about the others. I'll let them continue their research at the base. One more thing. Mom keeps asking you where you went. She asked me why I married someone else. I didn't dare to tell her before. I only said that you went abroad to study. Are you and Lingqing going back to see Mom this time?" Xingbua asked. Baiya looked at Gu Lingqing and asked, "Are we going back to see Mom this time?" Gu Lingqing nodded. "Okay." Baiya replied to Xingbua. "We'll go back to see Mom this time. Let's make an appointment. Let's meet tonight. I'll be back by noon. I'll go fishing in the lake and come back to drink fish soup. This year's fish should be fatter than last year's." Xingbua smiled. His eyes were warm. He still remembered the delicious taste of Baiya's fish soup. It was strange. He used to dream of Baiya often. But ever since Baiya went to Gu Lingqing's side, he never dreamed of her. Sometimes he felt like her. He couldn't even remember what she looked like. "See you tonight." Xingbua hung up. Gu Lingqing looked at Baiya deeply. He wanted to say something but stopped. In the end, he didn't say anything. They packed their luggage and went back. Baiya was still nervous. She hadn't left the base for a long time. She didn't know if Xingbua had told Mom about Gu Lingqing. She didn't know how Lu Shuang and Xinyan were doing. She was afraid that she couldn't focus on anything, so she didn't contact them. She didn't care about them and didn't think about them. Gu Lingqing held her hand. Baiya smiled. He should be the one who was more nervous and worried. On the contrary, he was calm. Even if Mount Tai collapsed in front of him, his expression would not change. She could not be as calm as him. "Mom will be happy to see you and Shosho," said Baiya. "I'm happy to see you too," Gu Lingqing said. Baiya was happy to hear him say this. She leaned on his shoulder and said, "Let's find LV Bowie first. After solving our worries, we'll choose a city we like to live in and occasionally go to a deserted island for vacation. How about that?" "Among them, you want to do something meaningful," Gu Lingqing corrected him. Baiya agreed. "We will do anything meaningful together." Unknowingly, the car had almost arrived at the manor. Baiya started to feel nervous again. This feeling was very strange, but it was also a little excited and expectant. When the car arrived at the entrance, Baya realized that it was still the same guards. "Madam, Mr. President." The guards greeted respectfully. They saw an unknown driver and a woman carrying a child in the car. "He's not the president. He's your chief Gu," Baya explained. Gu Lingqing looked at the guards coldly. These people used to be his shadows. Even if he hadn't seen them for a year and a half, he could still recognize them at a glance. They were all excited when they saw Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing remained calm and said in a low voice, "Thank you. It's Chief, it's Chief. Chief is back. Chief is finally back," the guards shouted excitedly with tears in their eyes. Gu Lingqing nodded. He didn't show much expression and ordered the driver, "Let's go." The car continued to move forward. Baya wanted to laugh. This was Gu Lingqing, the man she loved deeply. No matter what was suitable, he would always look like a serious soldier. Soon, the car arrived at the entrance of the manor. Song Shiyu rushed out of the door. Zhang Xingyu and Lin Shulan followed behind her. Lin Shulan's face had been repaired twice. It was almost healed. There was only a slight color difference left. This problem could be fixed with makeup. Gu Lingqing got out of the car first. Baya got out of the car soon after. Then came Xiao Xia, who was carrying Shosho. Song Shiyu was very emotional. She walked to Gu Lingqing. Before she said anything, her tears flowed out. "Lingqing, it's you. It's really you." Gu Lingqing looked at Song Shiyu deeply and replied, "Yes, Mom." Song Shiyu covered her mouth and cried. "Mom, we're back," Baya comforted her. "I know. Actually, I knew it a long time ago. It's not Hua, it's not you. It's not Hua, it's your twin brother. You must be treating your illness outside," Song Shiyu said emotionally. Baya knew that Song Shiyu had something to say to Gu Lingqing. So, she didn't interrupt. "How can I not know my own child? I don't want to say it. I don't want to make things difficult for you. Fortunately, we're back." Song Shiyu held Gu Lingqing's face. He was still cold, cool, and emotionless. Song Shiyu was very happy. This was Gu Lingqing. She turned around and held Baya's hand. "You child, how can you be so cruel? You left without even calling me. Do you know how worried I was? I was afraid that Lingqing was already dead. You went to die for love." Baya's eyes turned red too. She didn't dare to say it. She didn't want to say it. She disappeared for no reason. At least those who cared about her would have some thoughts. Later on, she found out that Gu Lingqing was still alive but in a vegetative state. She still didn't dare to say it. After Gu Lingqing woke up, she accompanied him during his rehabilitation. She still didn't say it. She thought that she would come back when Gu Lingqing was fully recovered. So, she didn't say it. "I'm sorry, Mom," Baya apologized. "Silly child, why would I blame you? It's good that you're back. You must have suffered outside." Song Shiyu felt bad for Baya and Gu Lingqing. "No, Big Brother took good care of us outside. It's me who worked hard," Baya said. "It's okay. I have you guys now. It doesn't matter at all," Song Shiyu said happily. She thought of something and looked at Shosho. Shosho had his teeth out. He was biting on the teething stick. He was very obedient. His eyes were wide open and he stared at Song Shiyu without blinking. "He's Shosho Gu Shoshi. He's 7 months old now. He can't walk or talk but he can crawl. He's a boy," Baya explained. "The child in your tummy is so big. That's great. Let Grandma carry him," Song Shiyu said and went to carry Shosho. Shosho had been carried by this person and that person since he was young, so he wasn't that shy. After he was carried by Song Shiyu, he didn't cry or make a fuss. He continued to bite on the teething stick. Song Shiyu had always wanted to carry a grandson. She loved this adorable Shosho. "Old madam, it's cold outside. Come in and sit," Lin Shulan reminded. Yes, come in quickly," Song Shiyu said and carried Shosho into the house. "Madam," Lin Shulan called Baya. His eyes were red. "We all missed you. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.